AK Tree Solutions, and Playa Azul. The Peninsula Oilers postgame show is sponsored by Peninsula Community Health Services with game recaps and on-field interviews. Now let's go live to today's Oilers game with the ESPN broadcast team.
Welcome back here on ESPN. Dylan Simmons and Tucker Blau joining you from Anchorage, Alaska at Mulcahy Baseball Stadium for the second of our two-game doubleheader between the Oilers and the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Peninsula falling in the first game by a final score of 2-1, hoping to get some revenge, so to speak, and some redemption against the Glacier Pilots here. And again, Dylan Simmons and Tucker Blau joining you. We're going to have a quick Coach's Corner interview here on our Sweeney's Clothing pregame show. We'll just play a little bit of this, it looks like. So let's go ahead and get that rolling.
Welcome back to the Sweeney's pregame show. I'm Tucker Blau here with infield coach and I guess assistant coach Larry McCann for the Oilers. The Oilers, after a bit of a break, which has been unusual for them this season, they've had mostly just games back-to-back all year. It's been somewhat of a grind of a season, and they've had this 3-day break because of the rain delays here at Mulcahy Field. What is that? Do you think that is going to be hurt or help for this Oilers squad?
I mean, I really don't know. It kind of helps everybody. And the mere fact for us, like some of the games that we missed, and we're probably not going to be able to make them up. So at the end of the season, when we finish up here tomorrow, and we'll probably, if we play both today and the one tomorrow, we'll be 2 games less than the 36 we were scheduled to play. But I think some of these teams, they all play next week, but some of the games are not going to make up. So we may end up, probably having the most wins in the summer, and probably maybe not making the playoffs. So if we take care of our business and win 2 today and 1 tomorrow, and put us in a good spot, and we go home and watch the games the rest of the week and see what happens.
So as the schedule stands right now, the Oilers looking at a doubleheader against the Pilots tonight. That we'll be bringing that to you right here on ESPN Radio in a few moments. And then we've got the Mat-Su Miners out in Palmer tomorrow. And like you said, that's our last 3 games for the Oilers. And then the other teams are all playing each other next week to kind of determine who's going to be in those top 2 slots to make the playoffs. I guess you call it the playoffs, really. It's just the championship series. So what's the Oilers' outlook going into this final week?
I mean, we talked to the kids yesterday and said, hey, if we take care of business and if we can win these last 3 games, we'll put us in a good spot. And then we'll just kind of go home and play the waiting game. I mean, there's no other way to put it. So we'll just have to wait and see. I know that the Miners and the Chinooks play each other a couple more times, and the Bucks are mixed in there. So
let's go ahead and cut it.
That, if we beat each other up, then we have an opportunity to finish in the top 2.
Absolutely. A big doubleheader tonight. Dylan and I were talking.
All right, that was our Coach's Corner segment. Tucker interviewing Larry McCann, and it's now time for baseball here on ESPN as the first pitch will be fired in by Davis Weeks on the mound against Brooks Hassenclaver. It is low for ball 1, and we're underway here in game number 2. And again, the Oilers trying to find their way back after a tough loss in game 1 of this doubleheader about half an hour ago. 1-0 pitch on the way from Weeks results in a swing and a miss for Hassenclaver. So now the Oilers, after the emotional state they were probably just in, putting a lot of their heart and soul into that game number 1, quickly have to turn around and get refocused for this game 2 against the Pilots, and that can be a bit of a journey for these players trying to get back in the right headspace for a big game like this one.
Hassenclaver came out swinging. I think he was looking for what would be his 7th home run on the year. He's been largely successful in the power department, and now he's going to hold back a little bit, take a couple balls, 2-1 the count.
2-1 on the way from Davis Weeks as Hassenclaver fouls this one off of the press box here at Mulcahy Stadium, and that evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So now for the Oilers, after that first loss of the doubleheader to the Pilots, in many ways this game could very well determine if they make the top of the World Championship Series. If they're able to get 2 wins to end out the regular season, that would put them at 19-15 overall, which would, in all likelihood, be close to good enough at least to make the championship series. But again, nothing is for certain, as that's delivered for ball 3, and the count goes to 3-2. Right now, they need to just focus on getting the victories, and they'll see what results will happen later. Payoff pitch on the way to Hassenclaver, and that's low for ball 4. And I was talking to him right before we went on the air for this game, and Hassenclaver was looking for walk number 40 of the season to be forced, and he just did it to lead off the top of the first.
Yeah, Hassenclaver also led off game 1 of this doubleheader with a walk, so very good at working the count, very good at finding a way to get on base no matter how. And he led off the game with a single, but he also worked a walk in this game 1, so he's been seeing the ball very well today.
It'll be Shane Cannon who will come to the plate next for the Oilers. The second baseman has Hassenclaver stationed over at first. This pitch is delivered in for a strike, and the count goes to 0-1. Cannon in the first game was pretty solid for the Oilers. Got on with a single and a walk, but struck out looking in the sixth inning. He'll hope to find some redemption here early in this game number 2 against the Pilots. This pitch on the way from Weeks is a breaking ball that is delivered in low, and the count evens at 1-1 strike.
Another leadoff man on base. The Oilers have seen a lot of base runners today. It's just a matter of getting them across the plate. The Oilers looking to do that here in Game 2 and come through with a morale-boosting win.
That's the idea for the Oilers coming out of Mulcahy Stadium here on this Thursday. 1-1 pitch, breaking ball by Weeks is delivered outside, or inside, I should say, for ball number 2.
Cannon with a promotion in the lineup. He was batting 6th. He's been batting a little bit lower, but after getting on base 2 out of 3 times in Game 1, including a single, finds himself in the 2-hole, replacing Mark Nellis, who is still absent from the lineup after getting hit by a pitch early in Game 1.
Weeks places this one outside, and the count goes to 3-1. Davis Weeks has made several appearances on the mound this season. In total, he has appeared, it looks like, 4 times, and each time he's gone 4 innings total in a game, so certainly could take the Pilots through the majority of this contest, but we shall see. 3-1 on the way with a runner over at first in Hassenclaver. Cannon trying to get on base himself, maybe with a walk. Instead, he'll foul this one off to the right side of the field and up and over the fence as the count will be at 3-2.
Another good job by Cannon of working the count, and so far both Oilers hitters able to work into a full count. Cannon would take a walk as well. Anything to get on base, anything to apply pressure on the pitcher Weeks here early.
Payoff pitch for the Michigan State Spartan against the UC San Diego Triton. Payoff pitch on the way. Cannon will foul this one towards the backstop. Keeps the count full at 3-2. And if you're just joining us here on this Thursday evening, the Oilers in their black shirts with gray pants and the Glacier Pilots in all white tonight here at Mulcahy Stadium.
Same jerseys as Game 1, of course. The Oilers ultimately falling short, but played a very good Game 1 against these Glacier Pilots, losing the match 2-1, but they led for a majority of the game.
This pitch is high and outside for ball number 4. That'll put runners at first and second for the Oilers as Hassenclaver makes his way over to second base, and Cannon will head over to first. 2 straight walks issued by Davis Weeks, and he's going to have to try to clean that up and do so soon.
And actually, this is similar to how Game 1 started, although it was a couple hits. We had 2 runners on base. The Oilers looking to see if they can learn from their past mistakes and if they'll be able to score these runners instead of just stranding them on base.
Nolan Graw will head to the plate for Peninsula, and already they've got runners aboard trying to cash in. Graw fouls this one up and over the press box, and the count will go 2-1. Nolan entered the day with a top batting average on the team at .387. .493 was his on-base percentage. And in the first game against the Glacier Pilots just a few moments ago, Graw ended up with an RBI double in the 3rd inning and may have a home run here. A high fly ball deep to right field, and it is out of here. Nolan Graw with his 3rd home run of the season, a massive 3-run shot over the Mulcahy Stadium scoreboard, and the Oilers on top early.
Nolan Graw says, "You beat us 2-1 in Game 1. Well, we'll beat that," scoring 3 runs, 3 batters into the game. Just an absolute shot off the bat of Nolan Graw. It actually bounced off the top of the scoreboard, so just a monster hit to right field for the left-hander.
Well, that is a heck of a way to start game number 2 of this doubleheader. Nolan Graw announcing himself to the Glacier Pilots here in the top half of the 1st inning on a moonshot over the right field fence. Luke Lusky will come to the plate here for the Oilers, cleanup man in the order. And just like that, Peninsula taking advantage early against Weeks. Lusky would love to add his 4th homer of the year. Swings and misses at this offering from Davis Weeks, and the count goes to 0-1.
Yeah, the biggest lead for the Oilers today. They led by 1 run for a majority of Game 1 and right away jumping out to a 3-run lead. Yet an out to be recorded here for Weeks.
Lusky's 0 for 3 so far on the day as the count goes to 1-1 here. He's got Owen Musil on deck and Reed Oakley behind him, as Davis Weeks tries to shake off the cobwebs after that 3-run shot he just gave up. 1-1 pitch on the way. This breaking ball is delivered for a strike, and that'll bring the count to 1-2 on Lusky. Your Pilots infield is as follows: Ryan Dotson at third, Henry Verhammy at short, Zach Hefner at second, and Logan Strong is over at first base. 1-2 pitch coming up from Weeks. Lusky fouls this off again up and over the press box, keeping the count at 1-2. Already a 3-0 lead for the Oilers, and there are still no outs in this top of the first, and it feels like the Oilers trying to show just how dialed up they are for this second game of the doubleheader as they try to get a win. This is a fastball outside and low for ball 2.
This is a win that is absolutely crucial for the Oilers if they want to have a chance to make it into the championship on top of the world. If they can pull away with a win tonight, however, you got a big game tomorrow, so don't forget to tune into that one either.
That'll be 6 o'clock at Herman Brothers Field in Palmer. Lusky with a high fly ball to center. A bit more hang time than Graw's home run, and Cooper Kunis camps underneath it for out number 1 on a fly ball.
Yeah, Lusky trying to match Graw's power, which we know he can, but just got underneath this one. It's an easy fly ball for the center fielder, Cooper Kunis.
Owen Musil comes to the plate for the Oilers. The DH in the last game against the Pilots ended up going 0 for 3 with a fly out to right, a ground out to third, and a ground out to shortstop. Still just 1 out here in this inning. Here's a check swing from Musil on a breaking ball, and it goes for a strike for Weeks. Count goes to 0-1. And Davis Weeks trying to get out of this inning with just 1 hit given up. Of course, it may end up being the 1 hit that matters more than anything today, as that's fouled off by Musil toward the right side of the ballpark, and the count goes to 0-2.
Owen Musil, as anybody would be frustrated after that 0 for 3 in the first game. I saw him in the batting cage taking reps, so I think he's trying to do whatever he can to try to turn his swing around.
Here's a pop-up toward the right side. First baseman Strong wants it, and Logan Strong makes the catch for out number 2. Pretty routine pop-up. Musil got a decent hold of it, but just couldn't get enough of a charge into it. That's 2 away in the top of the first, and now Reed Oakley will come to the plate.
Oilers come out firing a couple guys on base and then a big shot from Graw to give them the 3-0 lead, and now struggling to put the same energy into the ball they were earlier for this middle of the order.
Oakley to the plate as this pitch is delivered in low for ball number 1. Reed Oakley with a .290 average on the season, 18 total hits, 5 RBIs. Did not play in the first game of this doubleheader earlier today. Getting his shot here against Weeks, and he swings and misses at this fastball, evening the count at 1-1.
Weeks has now thrown 26 pitches here just in the first inning, so aside from the 3-run home run aside, just the Oilers putting a lot of pressure on Weeks.
1-1 breaking ball from Weeks as well inside for ball 2. Certainly applying the pressure to the freshman Davis Weeks. And the Michigan State Spartan is feeling the heat from these Oilers batters right now, who are trying to make a statement in this first frame of the contest. We know Reed Oakley certainly can deliver a game-changing hit, and he's going to deliver a hit towards the right field corner here. It's going to be a 2-out single for Reed Oakley on a nicely hit ball toward the right side.
Yeah, it was just a beautiful swing from Oakley, able to put it through that right side and drop it into the turf in front of Karen, which has proved to be a difficult thing tonight, but Oakley leaving Karen no chance to get to that one.
2 hits for the Oilers here in this top half of the first. 1 a home run and 1 a single. This time the single from Oakley. Carson McCormick will come to the plate, and the left fielder stands in the left side of the batter's box, trying to spur Oakley home. And this pitch is delivered high and inside for ball number 1. Last played against Chugiak back a few days ago on that Saturday matchup. 190 average on the season, 12 hits and 8 RBIs total. And McCormick trying to increase that right here as the fastball from Weeks is well inside for ball 2.
Yeah, McCormick able to get ahead of the pitcher. He's going to force the pitcher to throw strikes and hopefully get something to hit here with the runner on first. Just looking to extend this already big inning for the Oilers.
2-0 on the way to McCormick. Here's a ground ball right to Davis Weeks, and he will make the underhand toss to first for out number 3. Wasn't quite a line out, but Weeks was right on top of that grounder and was able to get the 1-3 against McCormick. So that'll do it for the top half of the first inning. The Oilers do some significant damage, however. 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base, and a 3-run home run from Nolan Graw off the Mulcahy Stadium scoreboard. We'll be back for the bottom half of the first in just a moment on ESPN. Don't go anywhere.
It's Progress Days weekend in Sildana. This Saturday, the parade starts at 11 a.m. from Marydale to Finkley and ends on Redoubt. Then head on over to Parker Park for the free community barbecue beginning at noon. Outdoor games, food trucks, and more. While you're out, stop by Sweeney's Clothing for all your summertime essentials. From Carhartt workwear and rain gear for the whole family, it's one of the area's largest selections of Carhartt. Sweeney's Clothing in Sildana, your workwear and outerwear headquarters for the whole family.
Let's talk about something that's not always top of mind, but still really important, life insurance. Because it offers financial protection for your loved ones and can help them pay for things like a mortgage, credit card debt, and even your children's education. Plus, life insurance is probably a lot more affordable than you think. And with State Farm, your local agent can help you understand your options and choose coverage that fits your needs and budget.
Hi, this is Christy Babcock, your local State Farm agent, still in Kenai, and now also at the Soldotna Y.
Welcome back here on ESPN. Dylan Simmons alongside Tucker Blau. And after one frame of action, the Oilers on top 3-0 on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard. Nolan Graw with his 3rd home run of the season. And just like that, Peninsula out to the early lead. A pretty good-looking first frame for the Oilers offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. The Oilers, every single one of them, putting it to Davis Weeks. Obviously, the top of the lineup being slightly more successful. Hassan Claver and Cannon both able to get on base behind Nolan Graw's huge monster shot, 3-run home run, the second pitch he saw, and he was all over it. The Oilers now lead 3-0, which is just a breath of fresh air to have that kind of lead this early in the game.
Certainly is, and now Kian Prendez will look to follow up from what Evan Sonares did in game number 1, and that is control this Anchorage Glacier Pilots lineup. Prendez has been arguably the best starting pitcher this season for the Oilers, and he's going to go to work here against Henry Verhamy in the bottom of the first. Prendez's first pitch to the outside for ball 1.
Like you said, Sonares with a dominant outing, 5 innings, and struck out 5, didn't allow a single run, and Prendez looking to match that or even best it here in game 2.
Count evens at 1-1 off of a foul ball from Verhamy. And your infield is as follows for the Oilers. Graw's at 3rd, Hoover at 2nd, Hoover at short, Cannon at 2nd, and Luke Lusky over at 1st. Here is a pitch that is going to be in for a strike. Count goes to 1-2.
Henry Verhamy is the leadoff hitter for the Pilots. He went 0 for 3, struck out once in game 1, so really the Oilers were able to keep the Glacier Pilots bats mostly silent up until that 6th inning when they broke through with a big triple and an RBI single as well. So, I mean, this Glacier's Pilot squad, it's not something to laugh at, but the Pilots have been able to.
Ground ball over to 3rd. It gets past the diving Nolan Graw. A sharply hit ground ball by Verhamy, and he's not stopping on his way to 2nd. The throw from the left field corner is still not been made yet. Now it will be, but it's not going to be in time. A massive leadoff triple for Henry Verhamy, the 2nd straight game with a triple for the Pilots as that thing rolled all the way to the left field corner, and McCormick, it took him a while to be able to dig it out.
Speaking of big triples, Verhamy coming through here to lead off the first inning. Grounded that one down the third base line. I think Graw had a shot to get to it, but as he extended his glove to the turf, it seemed to catch, and his arm kind of caught beneath him, and the ball managed to squirt by him and all the way down into that left field corner. Like you said, McCormick took a while to get to it and allows Verhamy to advance to 3rd.
Understandably so for McCormick because that ball was well into that left field corner. Here's a sharply hit ground ball to Lusky on the right side. A little bit less dramatic this time for Zach Hefner. It's going to be out number 1 for the Oilers, but that will bring in a run for the Glacier Pilots as Verhamy scores and Hefner will be awarded with the RBI.
Yeah, and as much as you don't want that run to score, it's a good decision by Lusky there just to take the easy out at first, not go for the out at home. Take the 1-run hit. You're already leading by 3, and now you can just focus on getting outs rather than trying to keep the Pilots below a big inning.
Cooper Kunis comes to the plate for the Glacier Pilots, the center fielder for Anchorage. In the last game against the Oilers, ended up going 1 for 3, but did have that RBI triple late in the game. Here's a ground ball hit sharply to Cannon at second. Cannon throws on to first and gets it there for a 4-3. Nice play by Cannon, and just like that, 2 outs for Peninsula.
Yeah, like you said, smooth play by Cannon. Comes up with it, realizing he has time, stands up, takes his time, and doesn't throw the ball away, gets in there to record the out.
Really aggressive approach early on from the Glacier Pilots against Kian Prendez, who we know usually gets better and better throughout games. As Jake Haruki comes to the plate, he was credited with the winning RBI single for the Pilots in game number 1, but he swings and misses at this offering, and the count goes to 0-1.
Yeah, Haruki winds up 1 for 3 on the day with that RBI single in the 6th. Probably the biggest hit of the day. Well, I don't know, the triple immediately before it was probably bigger, game-tying triple from Cooper Kunis.
0-1, swing and a miss. Count goes to 0-2.
Certainly one of the biggest hits of the day for Jake Haruki, and I think he's trying to build off that confidence, come out aggressive, and fortunately Prendez able to pitch around him so far, 0-2.
Yeah, Prendez trying to adjust to this middle part of the Pilots' order after giving up that triple to Verhamy. He's done well on that so far. 0-2. Here's a ball hit off the end of the bat. Fly ball to right field. Hassenclaver chases after it and makes an easy catch for out number 3. So some fireworks in the first inning for both sides. 2 hits, or 1 hit I should say, for the Glacier Pilots in the bottom of the first. 1 run comes across. No errors and no men left on base. It is Zach Kiefner with the RBI and Henry Verhamy with the triple. It's a 3-1 game. Oilers on top of the Glacier Pilots. Back for the top of the second in just a moment on ESPN.
Officers of Beeman's talking with Steve. It's time to get outside, enjoy the great outdoors, and you can start with a stop right here in the Beeman's.
We have lots of gear available for you. So we have disc golf, we have tennis balls and wiffle balls, footballs, soccer balls, basketballs, volleyballs. We also stock horseshoes and badminton and croquet sets. And if you're staying inside, we have lots of games and craft ideas.
You'll find all this and more waiting for you located at Beeman's on the Kenai Spur Highway in Soldotna.
Gentle Dental in Soldotna provides modern dental care in a welcoming, comfortable environment where patients feel right at home. They're also preparing to offer dental implants in the coming months. Patients with missing teeth, failing teeth, or ill-fitting dentures who are non-smokers are encouraged to schedule an evaluation. Combined with an advanced new 3D imaging technology, Gentle Dental continues to deliver precise, predictable care. Call Gentle Dental in Soldotna today at 907-262-8834 to schedule an appointment.
Back here on ESPN, Dylan Simmons and Tucker Blau joining you from Mulcahy Stadium in the crossroads of the world, Anchorage, Alaska. And after 1 inning on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard, it is Oilers 3, Glacier Pilots 1. Peninsula put the 3-run home run on the board courtesy of Nolan Graw on the top of the first, but the Pilots able to respond somewhat in kind with a triple from Henry Verhamy and then the RBI delivered by the number 2 man in the order for Anchorage, Zach Kiefner, moments later.
Yeah, absolutely, and baseball, just like all sports, is a huge momentum sport. Pilots, a huge momentum sport, and the Pilots trying to take some of that away from the Oilers. I feel like this top of the second, although the Oilers already lead by 2, is going to be huge to try to get that momentum back in Peninsula's favor. It's going to be up to the bottom of the order, Brady Brown and Kyler Hoover, to kind of set the table for the top of the lineup and try to get something out of this second inning.
Brown, Hoover, and Brooks Hassenclaver due up as for the first time today the sun shines brightly down on Mulcahy Stadium, kind of coming in from the right side of the ballpark. But it makes for a really nice window dressing here on this Thursday evening as that pitch is to the inside for ball 1 on Brown. Really scenic view, and if you're watching on YouTube, it doesn't quite do it justice. 1-0 delivered just to the outside for ball number 2. As Davis Weeks on the mound struggled a little bit in that top of the first to contain the Oilers' top of the lineup, and he's hoping that does not last. 2-0 as that's fouled off by Brown, and just as soon as the sun appeared, it disappears back behind some cloud cover, and the count goes to 2-1.
It decided just to tease us for a second, like, I'm here. I just don't want to show myself. I wish it would make itself more known.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in about a week, so I was welcoming that. And speaking of welcoming, I'll welcome this as well. Brady Brown with a leadoff single on a 2-1 count to right center to lead off the top of the second.
And the Oilers continue this fantastic trend of getting their leadoff hitter on base. It's just a matter of scoring him, which they were able to do in the first inning. Brown has now reached base for the 4th time today in 4 at-bats, although that's his first hit. He's been hit by 2 pitches and reached on an error in Game 1.
Third total hit for the Oilers already in this game as Kyler Hoover, the shortstop, comes to the plate looking for his first hit as an Oiler. And Davis Weeks delivers a fastball for a strike, taking the count to 0-1 just like that. But it seems as though this Oilers lineup is making some pretty significant contact against this freshman from Peoria, Illinois so far. Weeks stands in on the 0-1. Deals, and this is hit toward the opposite side and foul by Hoover, bringing the count to 0-2.
Hoover is still looking for his first hit as an Oiler. He went 0 for 2 earlier, did have that sac bunt. It was a good bunt. He also got out on batter's interference, which was also a bunt. So there's up finally in a non-bunting role here, and we'll see what he can do when he swings the bat.
Runner takes off. That's a ball, and that'll be an easy stolen base for Brady Brown, one of the fastest players on the team, able to get into scoring position on a very nicely executed stolen base.
Yeah, that was absolutely an excellent job by Brown. Good jump, good speed. There's just no way Cortinas was going to be able to get him there, and that's actually the first stolen base for either side here in this twin bill.
Yeah, we haven't seen it a lot in this game so far, so nice to see Brown being aggressive. 1-2, Hoover, ground ball over to short. The throw from Verhamy will be on to first in time for a 6-3, and Kyler Hoover won't get that first hit yet, out number 1 in the top of the second.
Yeah, Kyler Hoover he put decent bat on it, just wasn't quite enough to get it through that left side, plus it was hit directly at the shortstop Verhamy, and just a pretty routine ground out.
Brooks Hossenclaver comes to the plate here. And I know that Brooks is going to be eager to join in on what Nolan Graw did earlier, ABL's leader in RBIs with 6 total on the season. Graw, by the way, on that home run ties him with Luke Lusky for second in the ABL in home runs. So now the Oilers have the top 3 home run hitters in the league, and Hossenclaver, a high, towering shot deep to left center field. This will stay in the yard, though, as Kunis tracks it down. A heck of a job by the center fielder, and that's out number 2.
Yeah, Hossenclaver puts great bat on it in the left center field, and just like you said, a heck of a read by the center fielder, Cooper Kunis, working his way all the way back almost to the warning track to make that grab on the run, and then able to hold the runner at second base. Brady Brown forced to stay at second, and now the run potential of the inning falls on the shoulders of Shane Cannon.
That was the top of the order, brought to you by State Farm agent Christy Babcock. Protect yourself and your assets by putting Christy and her team at the top of your lineup as well. So it is Shane Cannon at the plate, and he watches this pitch be delivered for a ball. Low pitch, or actually a strike is going to be the call for Davis Weeks here. Count goes to 0-1. Cannon reached on a walk his first time up, which is the second time he's managed that today against a Glacier Pilots pitcher. 0-1 with 2 outs. And Cannon swings and misses at this fastball from Davis Weeks, bringing the count to 0-2 just like that. Shane Cannon, UC San Diego, much like Evan Cineres, and both of them have made a major impact on this doubleheader today. The guys from one of the best cities, I'd say, optics-wise, on the West Coast, making an impact. 0-2, here's a line shot off the glove of Weeks, but the throw to first from Hefner will be in time, and that'll be no, hang on, did they say that Cannon was safe there? He was. The tag was missed by the first baseman Strong, as the throw from Hefner was just a little bit off, and that will put runners at the corners for the Oilers.
Yeah, just like you said, the throw from Hefner, he rushed it a little bit, almost unnecessarily, because Cannon wasn't that close to first base, but he rushed it, threw it wide. It's actually a good job by Strong to get to it, and he almost applied the tag but just missed. Oilers now opportunity to capitalize and extend their lead. Runners on the corners with 2 outs.
And the runner takes off here. Cannon will get to second without a throw. No contest from Cortinas that time. It's another stolen base for the Oilers, and now 2 runners in scoring position with a 1-0 count to Nolan Graw, who delivered the 3-run home run in his last at-bat.
Yeah, so that's a big thing for the Oilers to be able to get Cannon on base for Graw, who already has a 3-run home run on the day.
Graw fouls this one off to the left side, evening the count at 1-1 strike. And initially, I thought that Cannon was tagged out by Strong, but he missed the tag just barely. And now the Oilers with a chance to capitalize on what was looking like maybe a lost frame as the pitch comes into Graw low for ball 2.
The only unfortunate thing for the Pilots is, like you said, that tag was very, very close at first base, and the field umpire, because of the runner on first, was more towards the center of the field, so he didn't have a great view. It was more of a judgment call, and the Oilers able to come away with the call. They'll certainly take it.
2-1 with 2 outs, and that's well outside from Weeks for ball 3. And this could turn into a disastrous start for the Pilots if the Oilers are able to score multiple runs in this top of the second, which Graw, with a hitter's count, could be on the way to forcing. 3-1 pitch with 2 outs for Nolan Graw. Can he get back-to-back home runs? He's going to instead watch a breaking ball come in from a strike. Good adjustment by Weeks to run the count full at 3-2.
Yeah, opting in the hitter's count rather than to swing at a pitch. He's looking for the walk there with that pitch at the bottom of the zone, or maybe it just wasn't his pitch to hit. He's going to have to swing here at anything in the zone.
3-2 on the way. Graw, sharply hit ground ball to second, picked up cleanly by Hefner, and the throw to first is on the money this time for a 4-3 and out number 3. So the Oilers able to get 2 men on base, but unable to cash in with any runs in the top half of the second inning. The score remains 3-2-1, Oilers on top. We'll be back for the bottom of the second with Kian Prendez and the Oilers defense on ESPN in just a moment.
Don't settle for partial care. At Central Peninsula Hospital, you get access to 3 specialty clinics: the Bone and Joint Center, Kenai Spine and Pain, and Foot and Ankle Specialists. From sprains to spine surgery, our team offers imaging, therapy, and surgery without leaving the Kenai. No travel, no outsourcing, just complete care, close to home. Visit cpgh.org/orthopedics or call 907-714-4404.
Thinking about a new place to land here on the Kenai Peninsula? At Ashman Krause Real Estate, we believe real estate should feel clear, calm, and personal from the very first conversation. Whether you're buying your first home, moving across town, or preparing to sell, we guide you through every step with local knowledge and genuine care.
Ashman Krause Real Estate at Jack White Real Estate,
guiding you home with care.
Back here to Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska. Dylan Simmons and Tucker Blau joining you here from Mulcahy, where your score after 1.5 innings on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard is Peninsula Oilers 3, Anchorage Glacier Pilots 1. Kian Prendez and the Oilers defense trying to go back to work. Bit of a shaky start from Prendez in the bottom half of the first. Gave up a triple, but after that locked in well with 3 straight outs on this Pilot squad, and he'll look to do the same here in this frame.
Yeah, he certainly, like you said, shaky, but certainly wasn't bad there in the first inning. That ground ball down the third base line wasn't necessarily his fault. I mean, he induced the ground ball, which is all you can ask for from your pitcher. It was just hit to the wrong spot, and Rahami able to get the triple off of it.
Nick Cortinas to the plate here for the Pilots as Prendez sends in a breaking ball just to the outside for ball number 1. The thing about Prendez is even when he gives up a big hit, he's not one to get daunted by that. He usually is able to overcome it and quickly take care of business. 1-0 pitch. Just misses the outside corner on a breaking ball. 2-0 will be the count. Prendez has gone almost 5 innings in just about every every appearance he's made this year. Truly a model of consistency for this Oilers staff. Here's a ground ball hit slowly to short, picked up by Hoover. Throws on to first. Throw was high, but Lusky still able to make the tag for a 6-3. Kind of the inverse of what we saw with the Pilots back in the top of the second. This time, though, there will be no error, and it's an out.
Yeah, Hoover, I think, was a little indecisive about how to play that ground ball. At first, he sat back on it, and then last second decided to charge through it, which he played well, and then I think it might have just thrown off his throw a little bit. Fortunately, Lusky still able to get the tag down and record the out. That's
a really good job by the first baseman to get that tag, and now Logan Strong, the other first baseman in this game, heads to the plate as this pitch is delivered outside by Prendez, bringing the count to 1-0.
Prendez threw 8 of 9 pitches into the strike zone in the first inning. Here in the second, he's thrown 3 of 4 for balls, so look for him to get back in the zone and force these hitters to swing the bat and put it in play.
Certainly helps there as he forces a swing and a miss on Strong to bring the count to 1-1. Lights are out here in Mulcahy Stadium, a rare sight in an Alaska Baseball League game. Hardly ever have to use the lights, as that's another nasty breaking ball by Prendez as the count goes to 1-2. But because of the overcast conditions that we've seen pretty much all week here in Anchorage, the lights are necessary, or at least are helpful here this evening. 1-2 with one out on the way from Prendez. Deals a breaking ball, check swing. Did he go around? He did. Strike 3 called, and Kian Prendez gets his first strikeout of the game to force out number 2 in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, I think that might have even ticked off his bat, and Oakley was able to hang on to it. Either way, a huge strikeout, and the first 2 gone in the inning. The pitcher for the Oilers, Prendez, able to get just 1 out away from working through his first 1-2-3 inning.
Ryan Dotson to the plate, as that's a breaking ball by Prendez for a strike, bringing the count to 0-1, and that breaking ball seems a little bit more effective than it did earlier on in this game, really starting to get into that zone on a consistent basis here. 0-1 to Dotson, swing and a miss. That was a really nice pitch toward the top part of the zone, and just like that, Prendez has it at an 0-2.
Yeah, the Oilers pitching staff was so efficient in Game 1 that there was 4 Pilots hitters that only got 2 at-bats in the game.
0-2. Here's a high fly ball deep to right center field. Ranging back as Hassenclaver towards the wall it goes. It lands all the way at the warning track. This is going to be another extra base hit for the Pilots. And digging for third is Dotson. He will slide in safe. And it's the second triple for Anchorage in this game and their third total today, this time from the third baseman Dotson.
Yeah, obviously, if you know baseball, triples are not an easy thing to do. You see them very rarely. And like you just said, we've seen 3 now today. The Pilots just able to put the ball in the right spots and work their way around the bases quickly, taking advantage of the hits that they have gotten.
Impressive from Ryan Dotson. That went all the way to the warning track. Not very often you see a ball hit that well off of Kian Prendez, as that is fouled off by Jack Caron, bringing the count to 0-1. Second hit for the Pilots in this game, and both of them have been triples. One from Verhamy and now one from Ryan Dotson. Question is, can the Pilots cash in and get a run off of it? Prendez hoping that will not be the case. 0-1 on the way. Here's a ground ball hit to third, picked up by Groff, throws on to first, and there will be no second run for the Pilots in this bottom half of the second inning. So it is not a 1-2-3 inning, but still a successful inning for Kian Prendez and the Oilers defense. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, and 1 man left on base for Anchorage. That does it for the first 2 innings of play. The Oilers still on top 3-1. Tucker Blau will take over for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings of play-by-play, and we'll be back in just a moment to Anchorage on ESPN.
Uh-oh, that summer road trip isn't going far without Dan's Automotive. They've been saving Alaskans from roadside meltdowns with quick tune-ups, oil changes, and brakes that actually stop when you want them to. Dan's Automotive, located at the Napa Parts Building, is the secret ingredient to any successful adventure. Call 907-420-0416 and let Dan fix what your cousin thought he could. Dan's Automotive. No duct tape required.
This is Mark from Steam on Wheels. Wanted to talk to you about the Greer Poly tanks that we are now stocking. We've got tank sizes from 1,000 gallon, 1,250, 1,500 gallons. What sets them apart from the competition is that they have up to a 10-foot bury depth. Sometimes you need a tank that can withstand more than 4 feet, and these are where these poly tanks really shine. We do have tanks in stock. As a customer, you can come by and pick them up, a contractor as well. Please give us a call at Steam on Wheels, 907-262-3240.
Tucker Blau and Dylan Simmons. Caleb Manuel back on the board for us in the studio. Mulcahy Stadium, the Oilers lead the Pilots 3-1 after all those runs scored in the first inning, and then a scoreless second inning for both sides, as Luke Lusky, working from the right side, will take a ball and two balls, 2-0 the count against the power-hitting right-hander.
I do want to mention, saw somebody on the stream mention that the screen was a little bit dark, and I'll apologize.
Ground ball left side, picked up by the third baseman, throw across the diamond in time. That's a great play from Ryan Dodson from the third base position, makes the backhanded grab, and then a strong throw across the diamond, throws it in the dirt to make sure he doesn't throw it away, and a pick from Strong to record the out.
Yeah, really nice job by Dotson and Strong there on the 5-3. But as I was saying, the screen may be a little bit dark, and that's just because of the overcast conditions here in Anchorage. So if the screen seems a little bit darker than you'd like, and that's understandable. We can't, unfortunately, change that. If you can maybe brighten your screen up a little bit, that might help. That's the best we've got in this situation. So apologies for that, and hopefully it doesn't interrupt your viewing experience too much on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't know who decided to turn the sun off early today, but next pitch is low. The check swing he did not offer, I believe. I can't see the first base umpire's call, or did they say he offered?
They said he did, yes.
So he did go around, strike one, 0-1 on Owen Musil. And the next pitch misses for ball one. The count evens at 1-1.
Musil popped it up to Logan Strong, the first baseman, his last time up. Working as the DH, still looking for that first hit against the Pilots today, and this would be a great time to do it.
Musil now 0 for 4 on the day. Drives one through the right side. That's in for a base hit. A beautifully opposite field hit ground ball through the 3-4 hole, and Musil's aboard with one out.
Yeah, we just said it'd be a great time to get the single, and that's exactly what he does. Nice piece of hitting off the end of the bat, like you said, right into the 4-3 hole between Strong and Hefner. Musil, known for those towering shots sometimes, but he's also really good at those ground balls that just find their way through gaps, and that's exactly what Musil did there on that one-out single.
Opposite field, hard hit ground ball through the right side puts Owen Musil aboard. That brings up Reed Oakley, who has the only, I guess the Oilers have put up 4 hits now on the day, but Oakley singled in his first plate appearance and now takes a ball high and inside. He's 1 for 1 on the day, got stranded at first in the first inning.
Reed, a teammate of Owen's at Kansas City, Kansas Community College, and they've got a great rapport, obviously, and they've both made big contributions since coming to the Oilers this season. What impresses me a lot about Owen is that despite how tall he is and his ability at the plate, he's really good on the base paths as well. Really speedy, good recognition, and that's impressive to see from that taller stature. Not saying tall guys can't be fast, but it's still pretty impressive.
1-0 delivery to Oakley, misses for ball 2, and like you said, catches the zone for strike 1, 1-1 the count. When a big guy's got speed, that induces a little fear into the defense as well.
Yeah, it's not something you want to deal with when you've already got a guy who can hit it as well as he does. He's also got a lot of speed under the hood as well.
1-1, fouled back and out of play. The count goes to 1-2, so Oakley, after taking a ball 1, now falls behind. Davis Weeks coming right back on the attack.
And you can almost feel the sense of urgency being ticked up for the Oilers in this game. They're playing like they have a lot on the line, which they do. Wouldn't expect anything less right now as Musil makes it back to first.
Yeah, pickoff attempt, and it was relatively close, but Musil back with plenty of time.
Weeks already with 56 pitches in this game as well, so that count has been taking a beating so far. He's definitely getting up there in his total pitches.
Weeks checks Musil at first, now delivers to the plate. Oakley fouls one back and out of play again and stays alive in the 1-2 count.
Just continuing to make contact with these pitches from Davis Weeks, trying to challenge him, trying to force him into a mistake, like what happened last time with Oakley to get him on with a single, trying to find that opportunity again here.
Oakley back into the right-hand batter's box. Tall righty Weeks on the mound. Leg kick and the delivery, high and inside for ball 2, and Oakley's working a fantastic at-bat after falling behind. He's now worked the count to 2-2. And the more pitches you see from a pitcher in an at-bat or in a game, the more pitches you see, the more chance you have of putting good bat on it. That's what Oakley's banking on here as he extends the at-bat for as long as he can. The 2-2 delivery, fouled back and away, and he'll see another pitch.
That goes right over us here in the press box. And I think one of Reed's underrated attributes is that he's got great plate discipline, and his ability to stay on the plate and make life tough for the pitcher is, I think, one of his more underrated commodities, but he's got it in spades.
Digs back into that right side. Weeks on the mound, toes the rubber. Now the delivery, fouled back again. That's 3 foul balls now in the 2-2 count.
Yeah, he is not making life easy for Davis Weeks right now by any means. And it's been really impressive to see. Just doing a fantastic job of staying at the plate and trying to make sure that he gets the last laugh against Weeks here.
Third consecutive 2-2 delivery from Weeks as he checks Musil at first. Now comes set at the chest. Checks the runner again. Now leg kick and the delivery. Swung through, strike 3. Oakley works a fantastic at-bat, but ultimately comes up short, swinging through an off-speed for strike 3.
That's Weeks' first strikeout of this game, and gotta say, even though he didn't get a hit there, that was still a really productive at-bat because, again, it forced Weeks to keep pitching and pitching and pitching, and even though you don't get the hit, you do run up that pitch count, like I said, and that puts your guys behind you in an even better position.
Of McCormick 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out. Fouls one backing out of play for strike one. Oilers coming out aggressive here in their second at-bats, the second time seeing Weeks. McCormick fouls the first one off.
And I think they've recognized that they've got something they can use against Weeks right now, and they're trying to attack anything that he's shown so far that they think they can make use of. And I think that's why you're seeing some of this aggressiveness in this top of the third so far.
Weeks gets back on the rubber. Checks Musel at first, now gets his sign and comes set. Late kick on the pitch. Blooped lazily up the middle. It's going to stay short enough for the second baseman Hefner to make the grab and retire the side. The Oilers don't get any runs on one hit, no errors, and one left on base. The Pilots coming back in the bottom of the third, bringing Landon Martindale on his first at-bat of the day, and then back to the top of the lineup for Henry Verhamy and Zach Hefner right here on ESPN Radio.
Fall is just around the corner. Are you ready for your next chapter? At Kenai Peninsula College, we're ready for you. Registration for the fall semester is now open, offering the classes you need close to home. And big news, our residence hall is now open. You can once again experience full campus life, build lifelong friendships, and live where you learn while taking classes at KPC or any UA campus. Don't wait. Secure your classes in your room today at kpc.alaska.edu. Find your place at KPC.
Looking for the toughest trailers and equipment on the Kenai? Head to White Spruce Trailer Sales on K Beach Road, your local dealer for TYM tractors. That's right, they have TYM tractors and implements. Anything from TYM pallet forks, box blades, snow removal, and more. Built to work as hard as you do. From sales to service, they've got the parts you need to keep your equipment running strong all year long. Speaking of service, White Spruce offers a full-service shop with special discounts for commercial companies because supporting local businesses matter.
Mulcahy Stadium here in Anchorage, Alaska, and Dylan, I think at this point the sun is just taunting us. It came out again for a few seconds and decided to disappear.
Yeah, it's been making brief appearances, cameos, if you will, so far, and unfortunately it lasts for maybe a minute or so and then it ducks back behind the clouds. And I wish it would stay because it makes for a beautiful picture. I'm sure the outfielders, though, who maybe would have to face the sun in that situation, don't mind it maybe staying behind the clouds, though.
Absolutely. Here at Mulcahy, the sun is out over the right field corner, foul territory-ish area. It's actually out of my view here, so I can't see exactly where it's at. The Oilers, however, will take whatever the conditions. They'll take the lead they have right now. They lead 3-1 in the hits column, 4-2. They have not committed an error yet today as the first ball here is driven deep into the gap. I don't think anybody's going to get there, and sure enough, it's down for another extra base hit for this Pilot squad. A leadoff double for Landon Martindale on the first pitch he's seen all day.
Yeah, and it's that same portion of the field in right center field that we saw Dotson get his triple on. Martindale, almost the exact same spot, able to get his, and it was pretty much to the warning track again. Just some really solid hits off of Prendez, which you don't see very often, but give the Pilots credit. They are making sure that they get in these extra base hits against Prendez in the early portions of this game.
Leadoff double for Landon Martindale to really do a good job of setting the table for the top of this Pilots lineup. Verhamy stepping into the box. He's going to take ball for ball one, 1-0. Of course, the top of the lineup is brought to you by State Farm agent Christy Babcock. Start the next inning in your life with the top insurance team. Prendez back on Prendez back on the mound, ready for the 1-0. Comes set. Checks the runner at second. Now the pitch. That's going to be flied out towards the right side. Chasing it down is going to be Hassenclaver, and that got over his head and down. That's going to be a double. The runner on second, Martindale, was actually only advanced to third because he thought the ball was going to be caught. And the Pilots, they don't come up with a run, but they got two runners in scoring position with nobody out.
Yeah, they certainly do, and that's one that Hassenclaver looked like had a pretty good read on, and he kind of shook his head after the fact. I'm not sure exactly what happened over there in deep right field. Got his glove up. I'm not sure if it just went over his head or if it slipped out of his glove, but unable to secure that catch, and that is another huge play for the Glacier Pilots. Verhamy now at second and two runners in scoring position for Anchorage. Chance to tie this thing up in the bottom of the third.
Tying run now in scoring position in the form of Henry Verhamy. Landon Martindale on third, and stepping into up to the plate is Zach Hefner, who's 0 for 1 on the day, but does already have an RBI. He's going to take a ball high and inside. Hefner in game one went 0 for 2 on the day, did walk and score in the 6th inning. And that was a big run, a game-tying run at the time, and a big step towards the Pilots taking the lead.
Looks like Fernandez and the rest of the Oilers infield are going to have a quick conversation with Kian Prendez. Of course, this is a very contentious moment here in this bottom half of the third because you've got 2 runners in scoring position, so you want to make sure you can get outs by any means necessary, and you got to take care of business here at this juncture of the game. So making sure that they've got Kian Prendez and got their plan in the right order.
It looked like for whatever reason, Luke Lusky had to make a glove switch. He headed back to the dugout and grabbed a different first baseman's mitt. I don't know if he's having trouble with the lacing or what, but either way, he's got some new leather over there at first base. And now Hefner back into the box, ready for the 1-0 delivery from Prendez. It's going to be fouled back and out of play, 0-1.
Well, this is a pretty deep
0-2.
hole. Yeah, this is a pretty deep hole for Prendez to try to work himself out of because you've got 2 runners in scoring position with no outs. So what you're looking for here is a pretty easy pop-up, maybe some form of double play, but really you don't want any runs to come across. So a strikeout or pop-up would be the best possible situation.
Now a bloop shot left side that's going to land just foul. Count is now 1-2. Excuse me, it was 1-1 before that hit. So count issues resolved. The foul ball that was almost fair. It was very close.
That was almost a really dangerous shot for the Oilers to deal with right there as Hefner kind of hit that one awkwardly to the left side, but almost got it down in a really good spot along that left field line.
Prendez ready for the 1-2. Very close, but just missed for a ball, and he almost sat him down right there. In fact, Prendez is questioning the umpire on where that one missed.
Yeah, I think he thought that clipped that outside corner, but home plate umpire was pretty adamant that it didn't. Prendez is going to have to adjust on this 2-2. Let's see if he goes for that breaking ball again or uses the fastball here.
2-2 delivery. Swung through, strike 3. That's a big K for Kian Prendez, who had 2 runners in scoring position and nobody out.
Massive strikeout from Prendez, and he did go back to that breaking ball and got Hefner to chase. That's exactly the goal when you're trying to get the outside corner on a lefty batter, and that's exactly what he got. Brilliant job by Prendez, and as you said, a massive out here in this bottom of the third to help cool things down for the Pilots.
Job certainly doesn't get easier, however. Cooper Kunis stepping into that left-hand side of the batter's box. He's going to take ball 1. Kunis, of course, had that huge RBI triple back in Game 1 in the 6th inning, and now would not be a good time for yet another extra base hit. Prendez trying to sit him down right here with 2 runners in scoring position.
Yeah, certainly would not be ideal here for Prendez, so he understands just as much as anybody.
1-0 delivery, line down the right field line. That's going to stay fair. That's going to be another extra base hit. 1 run comes home. The tying run is going to play. Kunis is thinking about 3, but he's going to hold up at second base. A 2 RBI double ties the game for the Pilots. Cooper Kunis now has 3 RBIs on the day.
Wow, what a shot to the right field corner by Kunis. Exactly in that corner as well. Hassenclaver, pretty impressive job just to dig it out of there with how far deep it was in that right field corner. Obviously anticipating a deep shot from Kunis, and he got exactly what he thought could happen. And just like that, we're tied up at 3 runs apiece. The hitting of the Pilots, got to admit, it's been nothing short of exceptional so far in this game against Prendez.
5th hit of the day for the Pilots here in Game 2, 5th hit of Game 2, and every single one of those has been an extra base hit, including 2 triples. So this, in fact, that's the 3rd double just here in the 3rd inning, hit by this Pilots squad.
Yeah, again, pretty wild. Just goes to show you how the bats are displaying their power in this game, for lack of a better term.
1-0 delivery to Jake Haruki, swung through for strike 1. Haruki falls to a 1-1 count. He went 1 for 3 on the day, singled in the 6th, flew out and popped out. Haruki now in a 1-1 count. Prendez gets the sign, now comes set. The game is now tied at 3 after that huge 2 RBI double. And now a ground ball down the third base line. That's going to be fair. Another run's going to come home as Cooper rounds third. He's going to score standing up. And the 4th double of the 3rd inning will bring home the go-ahead run for the Pilots. And boy, are they just firing on all cylinders.
They certainly are. This offense has been exceptional so far today, and this was almost the inverse of the RBI double from Kunis a second ago. He got his to the right field corner. This one to the left field corner by Haruki in a really tough spot for McCormick to do anything with. Obviously did what he could to get the ball out in time, but man, this Pilots hitting has been incredible in this third inning so far. 4 doubles and back-to-back RBI doubles.
Martindale, Verhamy, Kunis, and Haruki all coming up with extra base hits in this inning alone. Prendez, very uncharacteristic outing here tonight.
Yeah, it's usually a lot easier for him in these situations to be able to get outs, but this Pilots batting core has just found some magic, and they have consistently put some pressure on him. Curious to see how Prendez adjusts. They're not going to have any sort of pitching change yet, but certainly I think we'll see some action from the Oilers bullpen sooner rather than later. Looks like they do have a couple of guys beginning to get loose in there, and it looks like Dave Dawson is going to come out to the mound at least a little bit early to at least talk to Prendez, and we'll see if he wants to make a pitching change here.
Yeah, Dawson, I mean, usually you wouldn't be taking Prendez out this early, obviously, but I mean, the Pilots have been able to put up 6 extra base hits on him here through just 2.1 innings, so it looks like they might be taking him out of the game.
Yeah, looks like Prendez is going to make an early exit, so unfortunate for him. Obviously a bit of a tougher day today, but this Pilots batting has been on fire, and the Oilers are going to have to try to find something to cool them off. We'll see who they call from the bullpen here, Tucker.
Absolutely. When we come back, we'll have Prendez's final line, however dismal it may be. The Oilers trail 4-3 after an unfortunate bottom of the third inning where the Pilots are just firing on all cylinders. They're not done yet. A runner on second and 1 out. We'll have a new pitcher when we come back right here on ESPN Radio.
Looking for a solid job with great pay and room to grow? Dam Construction and Roofing is hiring roofers and general laborers across the Kenai Peninsula. They offer competitive pay based on experience, overtime opportunities, paid sick leave, and full-time seasonal work. No experience? No problem. If you're dependable, motivated, and ready to learn, they'll provide the opportunity. Join one of the Kenai Peninsula's fastest-growing roofing companies. Call 907-262-3996 today or visit dambuilt.com. Dam Construction and Roofing, building careers one roof at a time.
When trying to find a dentist, it can be challenging, and Ridgeway Family Dentistry knows this. Ridgeway is a new state-of-the-art facility offering you pain-free dentistry and is family-friendly. Even if you don't have time to have multiple appointments, Ridgeway Family Dentistry can complete all your treatment in one easy visit. At Ridgeway Family Dentistry, they know how important it is to have a smile and know how that can change your life. For your next dental appointment, call Ridgeway Family Dentistry at 262-8404.
Oilers general manager Dave Dawson making the decision to pull Keen Prendez from the game after what was an unfortunate outing. He wasn't really lacking control. He only went 2.1 innings. He didn't walk anybody. Just seemed like the Pilots really had his number, were pounding him left and right, put 6 hits on him, all extra base hits for 4 runs, all earned, and of course the runner on second inherited. New pitcher for the Oilers will be Cole Dixon, of course, brother of Luke Dixon. And what do we got on his season so far?
Yeah, Cole so far in the season with an 8.25 ERA and 24 innings, 22 earned runs given up with 26 strikeouts. Cole, for the most part, has been used as a starter this year. This is actually going to be his first appearance out of the bullpen, so curious to see how he'll do coming into this unique position in the game with a runner at second and 1 out in the Pilots' batting core absolutely in fuego.
Yeah, this is a win the Oilers really need to stay in top of the world championship contention, so they're willing to bring out Cole Dixon here in relief, and his first pitch here is going to miss for ball 1. With a runner in scoring position and only 1 out, a strikeout or a pop out, any sort of weak contact would be huge here, as he takes another ball inside for ball 2.
Yeah, right now all you're trying to do is just cool down this Pilots batting order and try to find some way to make sure you can break the momentum, because it is contagious with a lot of these guys, and they will capitalize when they see their teammates capitalizing, so that's what Dixon's trying to make happen.
The 2-0 foul to the backstop, 2-1 the count. Nick Cortines at the plate for the Pilots. He's grounded out to short back in the second inning. In game 1, he went 1 for 3 with a single in the 5th. He actually put up the first base runner or first single anyway, first base hit for the Pilots in that game 1, a game that Cineras really was dominating, and it's been a sort of flip-flop game here in game 2, both offenses coming out firing. Cole Dixon ready for the 2-1 delivery to Cortinas, checks the runner at second, now the leg kick and the pitch, finds the zone for strike 2, 2-2 the count.
Really nice job on the fastball by Cole Dixon, and of course we know that both of the Dixon brothers really like their fastballs, and I expect Cole to try to pound those fastballs in heavy against the Pilots to get some strikeouts, outs in general, I'd say, in the bottom of the third.
2-2 delivery, reach down and taps it foul to stay alive, does Nick Cortinas, and the count remains at 2-2. Like you said, both Cole Dixon with his brother Luke, it's got to be just an awesome trip to be able to come up and play baseball in the ABL together.
Oh, it absolutely is, and fun fact about them, they actually drove up here.
It's got to be a fun road trip and just an awesome summer in general, as Cortinas now takes a ball low for ball 3, count runs full.
Yeah, I think all the players on this Oilers squad have a deep appreciation for the state of Alaska and all the great things that it offers, and especially the Kenai Peninsula. I can personally vouch to say they love playing up here.
The payoff pitch is going to be flied out towards right center. Ranging over is Hassenkleber. He's going to be under it and make the grab. Runner's not going to tag, so the runner remains at second base with now 2 outs recorded. Dixon does his job, at least right away. He's not out of the woods yet. Still needs 1 more out to escape the inning.
Yeah, and that was a really nice job by Hassenkleber to range over and make that catch. But again, it's all about the time that it hung up that there for Cole Dixon. Now, we've seen some of these extra base hits in the past for the Pilots. They get down pretty fast. That one didn't. That's a good adjustment and a kind of a sign of what Cole Dixon's trying to force here.
Logan Strong into the box for the Pilots now. Struck out swinging in the second. Of course, that was when Keen Prendez was on the mound, and now the first pitch is in the dirt. Gets away from Oakley, but he manages to get to the ball in time to hold Haruki at second base.
Yeah, did a really nice job of getting back to that with Strong at the plate.
Logan Strong, Dixon trying to keep him from being strong at the plate as the next pitch finds the zone for strike 1, 1-1 the count. The Dixons have both had pretty good seasons on the year. Cole Dixon, of course, usually a starter working from the bullpen tonight and looking to freeze this game where it's at and give his offense a chance to retake the lead. His next pitch finds the zone for strike 2 and does a good job of bouncing back against Strong to a 1-2 count.
Like I talked about, heavy emphasis on fastballs here for Cole Dixon so far. Really trying to force the Pilots to chase after these baseballs. And so far it's working for him. Can he finish with a strikeout here?
The 1-2 delivery as Dixon checks Haruki at second base now comes home and it's fouled back and away. And the Pilots, even when they're not hitting extra base hits left and right, they're just putting together great at-bats here in Game 2.
Yeah, they certainly are, and for a team that's struggled so much on offense this year, they have looked really sharp today in this contest. Got to be a great feeling for them so far. Oilers trying to make sure those good times don't last.
The 1-2 delivery now from Dixon. It's going to be high for ball 2, and as much as I hate it for the Oilers, obviously, it's a good way for the Pilots to go out at home here, and happy for just the Pilots fans who have been through a bit of a rough season. However, of course, we want the Oilers to come away with these big wins and have a good shot at making the championship on top of the world, as the next pitch is fouled back as well, and just a terrific at-bat being put together here by Logan Strong.
Yeah, not to be hyperbolic in this situation, but if the Oilers were to lose this game, it would be hard to see a situation where they could make that top of the World Championship Series. If they win today and then win tomorrow against Matsu, the chance is still very much alive. So there's a lot riding on this game, make no mistake about it.
The 2-2 delivery from Dixon is going to find the now just missed for ball 3. I couldn't tell. The umpire here tends to make his calls late, so I have to wait a second to make sure he's not going to ring him up.
Yeah, just a little bit high from that offering that time from Dixon. Big payoff pitch coming up for Strong. This is going to be a huge swing, possibly one way or the other in this bottom of the third.
Payoff pitch from Dixon. Haruki leads off second. 2 outs here. Line left side. It's going to get through the infield for a base hit. They're going to hold Haruki at third base, although bobbled and left by McCormick. That's going to allow the run to score. And that's going to be a single run scoring on the error in left field by Carson McCormick.
Yeah, that was one that McCormick just kind of overplayed that time as he was trying to field that ground ball. Just kind of lost the handle on it for a second, and that's all it takes sometimes in these situations to bring in a run, and Haruki opportunistically capitalizes and scores, as you should in that spot. Just like that, the Pilots now with a 2-run lead in this bottom of the third.
Oilers now trail by 2. The Pilots have put up 4 runs here in the bottom of the third. The score now 5-3 on the day. Ryan Dodson fouls one back and out of play, and he had one of the 3 triples on the day for the Pilots today. Back in the second inning, he's 1 for 1.
Yeah, and again, this Pilots order has just found success really in every single part of the order so far. There's not really a weak link in this game. I think that's what's made them so hard to deal with for these Oilers pitchers.
Cole Dixon ready for the 0-1, and it's fouled back again and out of play, 0-2, and now the sun seems to be making an appearance again. I wasn't going to say anything about it until it stuck around for a while, and it has. Of course, now as soon as I say it's going to go away. But the count 0-2, Dixon ready for a big pitch here against Dodson. He needs one more strike to escape the inning, and Dodson able to just get his bat on it and stay alive.
And again, all these foul balls and all these pitches that just barely miss the corner, that's what's allowing the Pilots to continue to have this success, because they're continuing to go deeper and deeper into the count, and that tries to force a mistake on Dixon.
0-2 delivery, swung through for strike 3. Dixon allows the Pilots to put up 4 runs on the board, but goes out with a bang. Oh, well, I guess it wasn't his fault necessarily. Most of those runs came in off of Prendez. Dixon goes out with a bang, however, striking out Ryan Dodson swinging. The Pilots will be back in the top of the fourth. Sorry, the Oilers will be back in the top of the fourth, bringing up the bottom of the order Brady Brown, Kyler Hoover, and then Brooks Hossenclaver when we come back on ESPN Radio.
When trying to find a dentist, it can be challenging, and Ridgeway Family Dentistry knows this. Ridgeway is a new state-of-the-art facility offering you pain-free dentistry and is family-friendly. Even if you don't have time to have multiple appointments, Ridgeway Family Dentistry can complete all your treatment in one easy visit. At Ridgeway Family Dentistry, they know how important it is to have a smile and know how that can change your life. For your next dental appointment, call Ridgeway Family Dentistry at 262-8404.
The fish are in, the trails are open, and summer is short. If your family is complete and you've been considering vasectomy, now is a great time to get it done. Dr. Alvarez can perform your no-needle, no-scalpel vasectomy in Soldotna or Homer. This is a safe, quick, affordable, and nearly painless procedure with minimal downtime. You'll be out enjoying an Alaska summer, if we ever get one, before you know it. And really, what better use of a rain day? Call 907-235-1010 for more information or to schedule your no-needle, no-scalpel vasectomy.
Mulcahy Stadium, the Oilers, who once led this game 3-0, 3 batters into the game, now find themselves trailing 5-3, looking to respond here in the top of the 4th inning. Brady Brown from the right-hand batter's box tips a drive deep to left field. Ranging over is Haruki, and he's going to have room to make the grab. Good bat from Brady Brown, but not quite enough.
Well, that left field corner has treated him well on deep swings this year. Already has a home run, that back at Coral Seymour. This one looked like it might have a shot. Just hung up there a little bit too long, and Haruki able to get underneath it. Didn't quite have the distance either. And that's a tough first out, but looked like a promising shot for Brown.
Yeah, good. Like I said, good bat from Brown. Unfortunately, just goes down as an F7 in the books. On the mound for the Pilots still is Davis Weeks as he delivers a ball inside to Kyler Hoover, who I just love to see him get his first hit as an Oiler when he might just have today and tomorrow left. He flew all the way up here. You know, he's got to do something, right?
Yeah, and I think he's going to get that first hit. He's been close a couple of times, and it feels like it's just a matter of time, and this may very well be the at-bat.
1-1 delivery, misses for ball 2, 2-1. Kyler Hoover called up to replace Jack Holubowski. Hoover more well known for his glove than his bat, but can certainly get it done on the offensive side as well as he takes Lone away for ball 2. 2-2 is the count now on Kyler Hoover. I believe he just graduated from high school. 2-2. Now lined right side, and it's going to hang up for the right fielder. Karen, and that was good bat, a line drive opposite field. It was just unfortunate placement directly at the right fielder.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It was pretty well hit off the bat of Hoover, and if it had gotten down a little bit sooner, probably would have been his first hit of the season. Just hung up a little bit too long. Again, the Oilers getting close on some of these hits, but just cannot get the contact they're looking for. We'll see if Hassenclaver can change that in this top of the fourth.
2 down quickly for the Oilers. Brown and Hoover retired, respectively. Hassenclaver now stands in, takes a ball low, 1-0 the count. He reached on a walk in the first inning, flew out to center in the second. A swing where he put good bat on it, deep to center, just unfortunately not quite enough to get it out of the yard, and now another pitch high and away for ball 2.
Hassenclaver entered this second game with a .303 average and 24 RBIs on the season, along with the 27 hits. Looking for his first hit of this game.
2-0 to Hassenclaver, driven to center field. Will it hang up enough for the center fielder, Kunis? It will not. Deposits it into center field for his first hit here in Game 2, his second hit of the day. Now 1 for 2, and trying to keep that average above 300.
Yeah, 28th total hit of the season as well. And that's a perfect example of having a shot that hangs up a little bit but not too long. And Hassenclaver's really good at placement on some of these singles he delivers. And that was really well hit up the middle towards the shallow part of center field. Gets it down for a 2-out single.
Shane Cannon, who has reached base 4 out of 5 times tonight, although one of those was on an error. Other than that, he's walked twice and singled. He's going to take ball 1-0 the count. Hassenclaver leads off first after that 2-out single. Cannon from the right side is going to take ball 2 high and inside.
Yeah, has reached twice in pretty unorthodox circumstances. Walk earlier on an E4 in the second inning, and he's found multiple ways to reach base today. He's just been kind of a machine at the plate, and we'll see if that carries over here.
2-0 to Cannon, lined right side, unfortunately right at the second baseman, Hefner, who's going to flip it over to Strong in plenty of time to record the out. Again, the Oilers able to hit the ball hard, just unfortunately right at and into a Glacier Pilots mitt. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. The Pilots bringing up Karen, Martindale, and Verhamy when we come back, right here on ESPN Radio.
Hi, this is Justin Ruffridge. There's nothing like a small town. It's real community. And that's one of the reasons I'm raising my family here. It's also why I own and operate Soldotna Professional Pharmacy, because I believe a small town pharmacy is where people get the best care. Our customers aren't just customers, you're our friends and neighbors. Stop by at 299 North Binkley in Soldotna for hometown friendly service. I'm Justin Ruffridge, and I'm here to serve you.
Looking for fun for the whole family that they will love? Head over to Jumpin' Junction on K Beach Road, the Peninsula's entertainment center for all ages. Play in the arcade, dive into the active VR game room, glow it up with blacklight mini golf, bounce on inflatable fun, and grab a snack at the snack bar. Birthdays, work parties, and so much more. You can book them now at Jumpin' Junction on K Beach Road. Jumpin' Junction, where there's fun for the whole family.
Dixon back on the mound for the Oilers. He's going to be facing Jack Karen to start off the inning, who grounded out. One of the few Pilots in this starting lineup, it seems, who has not gotten an extra base hit tonight. The Pilots have just been swinging the bat very, very well, to say the least. They've picked up 6 hits, all extra bases.
Yeah, they've done a tremendous job against these Oilers defense and Oilers pitching corps so far tonight. However, there are still many opportunities left for this Oilers squad in this game, only in the 4th inning. So the Oilers certainly, even in a 7-inning contest, have chances to try to make this comeback. Biggest thing is you don't want a 2-run deficit to get any worse at this point in time. You got to find a way to shut down this Pilots offense in the bottom of the 4th if you're Cole Dixon.
Jack Karen 0 for 1 with that ground out, swings through strike 1. Back in Game 1, he was batting from the 9 hole. He went 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly out. So 0 for 3 on the day, still looking for a hit. He's going to take a ball outside, and the count evens at 1-1.
Yeah, Jack Karen not as much experience as some of these other guys in the Pilots lineup. Brought in kind of later on in the season, and he's been doing his best to help the Pilots in this spot.
Guerin now swings through strike 2. 0-2 the count.
But make no mistake about it, all sorts of talent around the Alaska Baseball League, and it doesn't matter when you're brought in. If you're up here, you're a talented guy.
Next pitch fouled back and away and out of play. Like you said, the ABL, what'd you say, top 5 collegiate summer leagues in the country?
I would say at least top 5 summer collegiate league in the country, and maybe in that top 3 in the eyes of some. It's certainly one of the most prestigious leagues in collegiate baseball, and I think the unique experience coming out here to Alaska is unlike anything else, and you learn a lot, not just about baseball, but about kind of how to handle responsibility and a lot of other facets of life.
1-2, grounded right side, left side, picked up by Graw, throw across the diamond in time. That's a good job on a ball that only bounced once before it got to him.
Yeah, nice easy ground ball that time for Graw, able to field that thing pretty cleanly on the turf for a needed first out in this bottom half of the 4th inning. And, you know, expanding on what I was talking about a moment ago, talking to some of these Oilers players, getting the experience being out here in Alaska, obviously it's a lot of fun, but again, learn a lot about that responsibility, how to carry yourself, and how to become a member of a community in many ways. And I know they've enjoyed interacting with a lot of the folks listening in Kenai, Soldotna, wherever the case may be, across the Kenai Peninsula. And they've certainly enjoyed it so far this season and trying to get a couple more wins at least here.
The 1-0 swung through from Landon Martindale, who had a big double in his first at-bat of the day. Count evens at 1-1.
Yeah, he really got things started in that bottom half of the 3rd inning for the Glacier Pilots. That against Prendez. We'll see what he does against Dixon this time. You see Cole still using that fastball.
1-1 delivered low for ball 2, and Cole Dixon has really done a great job since coming in of limiting the Pilots' bats. He's only allowed 1 hit. That was to Logan Strong. Other than that, he's retired 3. And now he gets swinging strike 2, and the full count goes to 2-2.
Yeah, went to a breaking ball that time on Martindale. Not sure he was entirely expecting it. Swung at it and ended up catching nothing but oxygen. Really good work by Cole there to force the 2-2 spot.
2-2 delivery, another breaker. It's going to fall outside for ball 3, and the count runs full. Martindale, 1 for 1 with that double. Ended up scoring the 2nd run of the ball game for the Pilots back in the 3rd. Now ready for the payoff pitch from Cole Dixon. The leg kick and the delivery high for ball 4, and Martindale with 1,000 on-base percentage on the day, and he's aboard with 1 out for the top of the lineup.
Yeah, him being in that 9 hole has really worked out well for the Pilots. Just read that well against Cole that time. Wasn't too aggressive when he needed to be, and that's exactly what you want to see from a batter. Martindale saw it well and got on base as a result. Still just 1 out in this bottom of the 4th.
And that brings up Henry Verhamy to the plate, who has been having a terrific night, to say the least. 2 for 2 with a double and a triple. So not looking to break and stop what's been just a terrific night for the righty, as he fouls one off for strike 1. Count evens at 1-1.
Yeah, delivered that well to the right side that time. And like you said, triple and double so far in this game. He's been a real thorn in the side of the Oilers.
1-1 delivery, line right side. That's going to get down for his 3rd base hit of the day. He is now a home run shy of the cycle, which is a prodigious, very rare thing to get, especially here in the ABL. So I doubt we'll see it, but it's possible, I guess. And there's now runners on 1st and 2nd with 1 out.
Well, we saw him almost hit one over the wall earlier on that triple, so if he gets the right situation in his hands, he very well could get that cycle. But again, this is another back against the wall moment for Cole Dixon as Hefner comes to the plate. Got to see if he can limit the damage here.
With 1 out and runners on 1st and 2nd, he's still just a ground ball away from escaping the inning. But like you said, very high pressure here with Hefner, who is another guy who's still looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 2, grounded out and struck out in the 1st and 3rd inning, respectively. The 1-0 now is high and away for ball 2, 2-0. The count on Zach Hefner back in the 1st game. Hefner went 0 for 2, walked and scored in the 6th. Hefner now stands in, the lefty, on the right side of the plate from our perspective. And the 2-0 delivery also misses for ball 3, so Dixon's struggling a little bit to find the zone here against Zach Hefner.
Yeah, struggling a little bit with control. This has been somewhat of an issue for him this season. Still usually able to avoid the walks, but 22 issued so far on the year, and sometimes it can really put the Oilers in a bind if he's not careful, but able to get the strike there. Let's see if he can adjust well against Hefner to get the strikeout he needs.
Yes, like you said, Dixon finds the outside edge for strike 1. Now comes set, ready for the 3-1. And that's going to be strike 2. And after falling behind 3-0, does a great job of working it back to a full count.
Yeah, his comfort level didn't change as well. Just kind of stayed relaxed, got what he needed to get. Now he forces the payoff pitch on Hefner, trying to force him into an out.
Huge payoff pitch, grounded left side. Diving is Hoover. He's not going to get there. That's going to be a single into left field. The throw is going to go all the way into the plate. There's going to be no play, however. That's an RBI single, Hefner's second RBI of the game, and the Pilots double the Oilers' score after falling behind 3-0. They now lead 6-3.
Yeah, ground ball through the left side from Hefner that time, right into the 5-6 hole. Hoover did everything he could to try to catch up to that baseball. But again, these Pilots batters are just feeling it today, and Dave Dawson might be on the verge of making another pitching change here.
Dawson headed out to the mound to at least talk to Dixon. We'll see if he ends up making that change. He's no doubt frustrated with how today went. The Oilers obviously looking to sweep the doubleheader and put themselves in position to make the championship series on top of the world, and it's going to look like they are going to pull Dixon. That's going to be the end of his night. We'll have his final line and more. It looks like Parks coming from the bullpen to relieve him, so we'll have that for you and more when we come back on ESPN Radio. The Oilers lead 6-3. The Pilots still threatening with 2 runners on and only 1 out when we come back.
Who would you call if your vehicle broke down? If you just had an accident or just spun off into the ditch?
You mean the Pilots lead 6-3, right?
Oh shoot, did I say Oilers? That's my bad.
I think so.
I'm sorry, bro.
Case of a Hey, are you ready? It's Genwar. That's Jenwar Towing and Recovery. 394-6068. That number again is 394-6068. Available 24 hours a day. Genwar Towing and Recovery. Make sure it's in your phone. Let's go fishing. Let's go see Alaska. Whatever your adventure is, Three Bears Alaska is here to help your adventure. They're a one-stop shop with easy to get in and out fuel pumps. Great for RVs, boats, campers, recreational trailers, work trailers, pretty much anything. And with locations in Cooper Landing, Sterling, Kenai, and Anilchik, you're on your way. Three Bears also has groceries for your adventure, fishing and camping gear, a liquor store, ice and fishing licenses as well. For your next adventure, stop by Three Bears Alaska. Everyone knows the story.
Justin Parks coming into the game to relieve Cole Dixon after a frustrating outing from both pitchers, Keen Prendez and Cole Dixon. Parks now the third pitcher on the day for the Oilers. Dixon leaves the game with only 1 inning pitched, 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned on 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Of course, both runners on base are left by him. Parks of course, features that fireball fastball, and he's been putting together a decent season. What are the numbers?
I would say decent is selling it short. He's had a great season so far. 1.47 ERA, 2-0 record, 18 1/3 innings pitched with 11 strikeouts. Parks has been maybe the most reliable bullpen guy for the Oilers so far this season, and he's in a pretty tough spot here with runners at first and second. But if anybody is going to get the Oilers out of this jam, I would trust number 30.
First pitch from Parks is going to miss for ball 1, and I'm sorry if there's any family of Parks or host family, or if Justin himself ever listens to this. I said decent season because I didn't have the numbers in front of me. That is a terrific season, I'll give you that. 1-0 delivery from Parks to Cooper Kunis, who's already had a great day, already has a double on the night, and had a triple back in the first game. He's going to take ball 2 high, and Parks now falls behind 2-0.
And here's the thing for Parks. Obviously, you want to try to establish control early. Can't have a lot of time trying to find the zone, particularly in this situation, because you've got runners at first and second. So Parks has to be very judicious with his pitch selection as he tries to take on the Pilots here.
Parks checks the runner at second base. Now the 2-0, and that also misses high for 3-0. Parks coming out firing with showing the heat, but unfortunately unable to find the zone.
Yeah, really trying to use that fastball on these Pilots batters, but like you said, just kind of going high into the outside of the zone right now on Kunis. Lefty batter obviously isn't an easy matchup to start.
3-0 finds the zone for strike one. Parks able to rein it back in. He's going to have to do it again here with still a heavy hitters count. Cooper Kunis already has put a charge into a couple balls tonight. You don't want to see that again.
Yeah, if I know Justin, he's not going to be one to be daunted by a 3-0 and not daunted by this situation. We'll see how he adjusts.
3-1 swung through. Kunis looking for a pitch to hit in the 3-1 count, is going to swing through it, and the count runs full.
Now he's finding the zone more consistently with that fastball, maybe just in the nick of time to force a strikeout on Kunis. Again, the Oilers desperately need an out of any kind right now. We'll see if Parks can provide that.
Payoff pitch from Justin Parks. Checks Verhami at second base, and it's fouled back and out of play, and we'll see another payoff pitch coming right up.
Yeah, Verhami over at second with a pretty big leadoff. I like the decision from Parks to try to take a look over at second, just make sure he doesn't want to advance any further past that. Pilots probably wouldn't mind a double steal in this situation, and with a 3-run lead, they can afford to be a little bit more aggressive.
Second consecutive payoff pitch as Parks checks Verhami at second again. Now it's blooped up the middle, picked up by Hoover over to Cannon at second. Throw to first is not going to be in time. They do pick up the fielder's choice, unable to turn two on the speedy legs of Cooper Kunis, but that puts 2 outs on the board.
Yeah, the speed of Kunis made all the difference right there. But what I liked from Cannon is that he didn't overreact to the situation, got the ball over to Lusky cleanly. Sometimes in a rush to get a double play, you overthrow the first baseman and put the team in a worse position. Cannon didn't overreact, got the throw he needed off, and the Oilers now have a chance to still get out of here with this being a 3-run game in the top of the, or going into the top of the 5th.
Oilers with a big step closer, but not out of the woods yet. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. Now line straight at Hoover. He's going to toss it to second himself and record the out. So Parks comes through, records 2 quick outs out of the bullpen, and picks his team up. Freezes the game at a 3-run deficit. The Oilers trail 6-3 to the Pilots. We'll come back in the top of the 5th. The Oilers bringing up Gra, Lusky, and Musil when we come back right here on ESPN 96.9 FM, 1140 AM, and online at RadioKenai.com.
Everyone knows the struggle. The DMV keeps bankers hours while they're stuck at work. That's where AK Express rolls in to save the day. They handle the services people need, and that's why they want you. Open until 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and Saturdays 11 to 3. AK Express makes busy schedules easier. Conveniently located at the corner of K Beach and West Poppy Lane. Makes everybody rides again. AK Express, where convenience is king. Looking for the tastiest Mexican food in Kenai? Martha's Cocina serves authentic Mexican dishes locals love. It's a family-friendly restaurant with amazing food for the kids and some of the best margaritas in town for the adults. Planning a party or group event? They've got room and catering, too. Visit Martha's Cocina next to Kenai Cinemas on Willow Street. And don't forget their sister location, Acapulco Mexican Restaurant in Soldotna. Call 907-335-1525 today.
Mulcahy Stadium, I'm Tucker Blau here with Dylan Simmons. Caleb Manuel back on the board for us in the studio and back at home in Kenai. The Oilers trail the Glacier Pilots 6-3 here in the bottom of the 4th. We'll see the Miners tomorrow. I guess my brain's already thinking ahead, I guess. But first they got to find a way to try to get back in this one tonight. They trail by 3, 6-3, but Nolan Gra, who's scored all the runs for the Oilers tonight on that 3-run home run back in the first, is stepping up to the plate.
Yeah, and right now the Oilers have got to find ways to success and fast with how Davis Weeks has been dealing. Now, the thing about Weeks is that he's at 79 pitches, so he's getting up there in pitch count, and that could play into the Oilers' favor if they're forced, the Pilots that is, to make a call to the bullpen, but we'll see.
0-1 delivery, line left side. Will it stay fair? It will not. They call it foul. That looked like it was pretty much on the line. And a big line it was. It was the difference between a foul ball and possibly a triple.
Boy, I don't know. From our vantage point, looked like it was fair, but I don't see anybody reacting to it. So I guess it was a foul ball, but I really thought that was on the line. But obviously with our viewpoint up here from the press box, could be a little bit skewed. It's an unfortunate break for Graw.
Yeah, I saw the same thing you did. It looked like it came down on the line, but obviously the umpire has the perfect view looking directly down the line. The next one's fouled back and hopefully out of play, and sure enough, the third baseman Dodson will run out of room. 0-2 quickly on Graw, but it'd be nice to replicate that and just put that about 4 inches to the right.
Yeah, certainly would. And obviously Nolan probably representing the spark plug in this situation for the Oilers. They've got to get something going, and I think the top of the fifth is going to be the crucial inning to do it. It's going to be tough to come back from 3 runs just like that, so you've got to start making some headway in this inning. Maybe just a run here or so, but if you're able to get some positive momentum going your way, you can ride that wave maybe back to a tie game.
Ball missed outside. Now the 1-2 from Weeks. Weeks misses low for ball 2. And I'm sure if you asked him back in the 3rd inning after he allowed a 3-run home run, 3 hitters into the game, if he'd still be pitching in the 5th, he would have doubted it at least. But he's put together a decent start since then. He's now in the 5th with just those 3 runs against him as Groff fouls another one back to stay alive.
Yeah, give credit to Davis Weeks because, like you said, looking troublesome in that 1st inning, but he's done a really nice job of just staying in with purpose and delivering consistent pitches, get his team to the lead.
2-2 delivery from Weeks, just low for ball 3, and a good job, like we said, Weeks has started to find the groove, and Graw trying to put a thorn in that here after working a full count after falling behind 0-2.
Good take by Graw on that low pitch. This is going to be a massive 3-2 right here.
Payoff pitch from Weeks. The leg kick and the delivery just missed for ball 4, and what an at-bat from Nolan Graw. Just missed an extra base hit down the left field line, still gets on base.
You know, some guys are dialed in on a given day. Nolan Graw absolutely dialed in, able to force that low pitch and get on with some really good big league style takes. Was not an easy walk to earn, but he got it, and now the Oilers have a runner on base that they desperately need.
Graw on base for the 4th time tonight between the 2 games of this doubleheader. First pitch misses outside for ball 1. 1-0 the count on Luke Lusky, who's coming in 0 for 2 here in the 5th inning.
Yeah, didn't get a hit in the first game either, so you can bet that he probably feels like he's due at this point in time. Biggest thing for him and the Oilers from this point out, you got to balance aggressiveness and smart baseball.
1-0 delivery, grounded hard down the third base line. That's going to be bobbled by the third baseman Dodson. He's not going to have a play. Everybody's going to be safe. Lusky reaches on the E5, and the Oilers, with 2 runners on, the tying run stepping up to the plate in the form of Owen Musil with nobody out.
Yeah, 2nd error of the day for the Pilots, and that's one that Ryan Dotson usually makes in his sleep. Just kind of lost the handle on the baseball, similar to what we saw earlier with McCormick out in left field on one of those plays. And that's a very fortunate circumstance for the Oilers, the tying run now at the plate with Musil.
Musil stepping into the right-hand side. Graw leads off second after the walk. Lusky leads off first after the E5, and Musil swings through strike 1. 0-1 the count. Musil 1 for 2 on the day, singled back in the 3rd, popped out in the 1st.
You can feel that momentum starting to spark back up for the Oilers now at this point in time as well. They've gotten the runners on base they've needed, and it feels like Musil, already has a single, could be that guy to change the outlook of this game in the top of the 5th.
0-1 just misses inside for a ball. 1-1 the count. Musil, tall, ready from Kansas City, just like the guy on deck, Reed Oakley, and they're looking to put some big runs on the board for the Oilers here in the 5th inning in a big spot. Musil now grounds one down the third base line and foul towards the dugout. 1-2.
Davis Weeks now above 90 pitches for this game, so he's getting to the limits of his appearance. This is about as long as he's appeared. This is as long as he's appeared in a single game so far this year. So that arm's got to be feeling a little more taxed at this point. Musil could play into that, and that could help the Oilers in this top of the 5th. Got to think the Pilots are going to be keeping a close eye on that, and there is action in the Anchorage bullpen.
A big league take on the 1-2 from Musil works the count to 2-2. Now Weeks steps back on the rubber, gets his sign. He's going to check Graw at second base and now delivers towards home plate, fouled back. Musil able to get the bat on it just enough to stay alive. Count remains at 2-2.
Yeah, just made slight contact on that breaking ball from Weeks that time to force the 2-2 strike situation. And Again, that's all you need. Just trying to challenge a pitcher who's close to the depths of what he's capable of.
Musil steps back into the box. Weeks ready for the 2-2. Delivers now, and a deep shot. Way foul down the left field line, but he got all of that.
Swung on the off-speed pitch that time, and that's when I think that Musil felt as though he could get over that left field wall. Put a good charge into it, just kind of hooked it a little bit to the left side foul. But Weeks is going to have to be more careful on that kind of pitch against Musil here.
Musil taking a little extra time to get back into the box here. Now ready as he taps the plate. Lightly swings his bat, hovering over home plate. Now Weeks checks the runner at second base, set at the chest, now delivers low for ball 3. And Musil, after fouling a couple pitches off in the 2-strike count, he's also worked a full count.
And again, much like Graw, really good take that time. Low, didn't chase after it, didn't get over aggressive. Now forces a payoff pitch. Let's see what he can do with it.
Davis Weeks comes set for the payoff pitch. Checks Graw at second, now the delivery. Deep shot down the left field, towards left field. Haruki ranging back. He's not going to get there. It's off the wall. Graw's going to hold up at third. Unfortunately, that ball was hit close enough to Haruki that the runners couldn't go on contact, so the runners are all forced to stay where they're at. It's just going to go down as a single, but a deep shot single to say the least. That was off the wall in left field.
Almost the exact same kind of swing that he had earlier on that foul ball against Weeks. This time he hits all of it cleanly to the left side. Just about got that one over the fence to tie this game up for the Oilers, but still gets it down over the head of Haruki in left field all the way to the warning track. And like you said, Haruki was anticipating a deep shot, so he was able to get to that ball quickly. Otherwise, that probably would have scored a couple runs for the Oilers.
Nevertheless, it just goes down as a long single, and now that base is loaded and nobody out, the tying run now on first base. Oakley represents the go-ahead run, stepping into that right-hand batter's box. Oakley already singled in this game. He was 1 for 2, struck out swinging in the third, singled back in the first. Now steps into the box. Weeks ready to deliver. Lined up the middle. Will it get down? It will. That's a base hit. One run's going to come home. The throw to third is not going to be in time, and it gets away from the third baseman Dodson, and the Oilers get one back, and they've still got the bases loaded with nobody out.
Great work by Reed Oakley, hitting that one up the middle, kind of like what we saw from Hassenclaver on the top of the fourth. Same style shot in front of the center fielder Kunis, and just like that, the Oilers still with the bases juiced, and now the tying run in scoring position as Carson McCormick comes to the plate.
McCormick stepping into the box. He's due 0 for 2 on the day, looking for a big hit here with the bases juiced. Like you said, the tying run in scoring position, the go-ahead run on the base paths at first base in Reed Oakley. And anything in the gap here would certainly tie the game here from Carson McCormick. First pitch to him, catches the zone for strike one, 0-1.
And I know Carson's going to be looking at this one very carefully in this situation. He understands the stakes. I think that patience is going to pick up a little bit for him in this spot.
0-1 delivery to McCormick, grounded down the third base line, just foul, barely missed. Probably a good thing it was foul, as Dodson was able to get over to it. Nevertheless, it's strike two.
Yeah, absolutely was, because it was a bit of a slow roller. Dodson had a chance to pick it up, just went to the left of that left field, or excuse me, the third base bag. So fortunate break for McCormick there. Gets another chance on the 0-2.
0-2 delivery from Weeks. Weeks obviously looking for the strikeout. McCormick's looking to avoid that, and unfortunately he cannot. Swings at some high cheese and goes down swinging. That's a big strikeout for Davis Weeks, and that's going to put Brady Brown in a big spot with the bases loaded.
Of course, we saw Brown get that single earlier, and I'm always cautious for a team when they have to deal with Brady Brown at the plate late in the game. He lives for situations like these, and again, he's got that speed around the base path as well. Could be huge.
Bases loaded with still one out. He swings through strike one. Brown, like you said, singled back in the second inning. He also hit that deep fly out to left field. He's got home run power. He has one on the year. And now looking to just score the runner from second to at least tie this game. Musil leads off second, representing the tying run. Lusky off third, and Reed Oakley off first. And Brady Brown swings through strike two, this one high.
Yeah, that's one that he was going for all that time, trying to see if he can make contact with that fastball from Weeks. Just went a little bit late. We'll see if Weeks wants to try that fastball again, considering how aggressive Brown was there.
Brown now ready for the 0-2. Weeks comes set. Looks over at Lusky at third. Now the delivery. Swung through, strike 3. Back-to-back, absolutely tremendous strikeouts for Davis Weeks. And that gets 2 huge outs with the bases loaded. And now it's all up to the freshman Kyler Hoover to try to get some runs out of this inning.
Likely will be the last batter that Weeks will face as well, either way, with 103 pitches. Hoover's
going to fly one out towards center field. Racing in is Kunis, and somebody made the grab. It looks like it was actually the shortstop, Verhamy. I thought it might fall down into the shallow outfield turf. Unfortunately, the Pilots able to make the grab and retire the side. A promising inning for the Oilers. They get 1 run out of it, but ultimately miss a huge opportunity. Big strikeouts of McCormick and Brown for Davis Weeks gets him out of the inning. The Oilers still trail by 2, 4-6. We head to the bottom of the 5th. The Pilots bringing up Cortina, Strong, and Dodson when we come back on ESPN Radio.
Cuts, fractures, sprains, burns, fishhooks, and workplace accidents. Odyssey Urgent Care treats the injuries that can't wait. Need stitches? They perform laceration repairs right here. Got a fishhook where it doesn't belong? Well, they can help with that too. With on-site x-ray services, splinting, braces, and expert injury care, you can get diagnosed and treated in one convenient visit. Conveniently located in Kenai in the Odyssey Family Practice Building. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Walk in or call 907-283-8400. Odyssey Urgent Care.
Hazardous trees are such a problem here on the Kenai Peninsula, but they have to be handled, and the place to call is AK Tree Solutions. With many years of experience in residential hazardous tree removal, they offer guaranteed customer satisfaction, and they're very accommodating. AK Tree Solutions also offers tree pruning, and they're licensed and insured. Get those hazardous trees off your property today. Call AK Tree Solutions, 907-398-2903. That's 907-398-2903.
Justin Parks back on the mound for the Oilers. He's trying to freeze this game where it's at. The Oilers able to get some offense together, but a trend we've seen all year and just an unfortunate ghost that keeps coming back up to haunt the Oilers is runners left on base, and that's exactly what we saw in the top of the 5th. The Oilers leaving the bases loaded when they had the bases loaded with nobody out.
Yeah, obviously not the end result that they wanted, but what I will say is that they established some positive momentum with that RBI single that they got from Reed Oakley, able to at least get a run on the board, and it feels like the tide may have turned just a little bit. Now, whether or not they'll be able to keep that up in the top of the 6th and the top of the 7th is a whole other story, but they've at least got the tide turned the way they want it to go. Now we'll have to see if Justin Parks and this defense can keep it rolling that way.
Absolutely, and just like you said, a huge thing is going to be if they can put up a scoreless frame to keep that momentum shifted towards Peninsula's side. Justin Parks on the mound in his 2nd inning of work. I guess he's worked 2 outs thus far. He misses inside for ball 1. Now ready for the 2nd pitch to Nick Cortines, who's grounded out and flew out today and fouls one back to the backstop to even the count at 1-1.
Yeah, Cortines, Strong, and Dotson in this inning coming up. Cortines, one of only 2 hitters in this lineup for the Pilots who doesn't have a hit yet in this game, so that could play into Justin Parks' role here.
Justin Parks ready for the 1-1, finds the zone for strike 2, doing a good job of getting ahead of Cortines. He's going to force him to have to swing the bat here. I'd expect to see him come back with a fastball, but we'll see.
And Parks trying to show some confidence here. I think he likes where he's at right now. Let's see if he can work into the rhythm quickly.
1-2, sure enough, goes to the fastball high and outside for ball 1, and the count evens at 2-2. Parks nods as if he knows he's the one that missed his spot there, and now looking to bounce back a pitch here.
Once he establishes control, it's really tough to get anything on Justin. He just gets so dialed into the game.
The 2-2 pitch is good, finds the bottom of the zone, but fouled away by Cortines, and that's a foul ball and a 2-strike count. 5th pitch of the at-bat. 2-2 the count remains.
And he's usually able to keep that up for large portions of time. And he's got another 2-2 forced here to Cortines, and it'd be huge for him to force an out early in this bottom of the 5th.
Parks gets his sign for the 2-2. He nods his head very emphatically once he agrees with the catcher Reed Oakley and picks the pitch high and away for ball 3. Count works full, but everybody can certainly tell when he finds the pitch he wants.
Absolutely, but Now he's got a big 3-2 to contend with, and we know that Cortinas will be watching closely.
Payoff pitch. Flied out towards the right side. I'm going to run out of room to see here, but it looks like Lusky's going to just run out of room. It falls out of play in those right field bleachers. The count remains at 3-2.
Yeah, almost got to that thing. It went pretty far towards that right side, and he just had it drop down in front of him. Needed just a little bit more space and a little more time to be able to make the catch, but unfortunately not to be.
Second consecutive payoff pitch here for Justin Parks. And down that right field line, it's a little bit more difficult for us to see with the railing here in front of the press box. And now swung through, strike three. Big strikeout for Parks to start off this fifth inning. And they've got one down with one batter into the fifth.
Yeah, really nice job by Parks there to get the strikeout on Cortinas. Got aggressive with the fastball. Even when it got to a 3-2, he didn't flinch. He didn't wince in the situation. Able to get a big first out in this bottom of the fifth, and that's the kind of confidence that I like to see from Justin Parks.
Justin Parks coming back with a huge strikeout. Now has to face Logan Strong, who's 1 for 2 with a single already today. Finds a pitch, places a pitch just inside for a ball. That single for Logan Strong was the first non-extra base hit of the day for the Pilots, but it was their 7th hit of the day. They hit 6 extra base hits before Strong hit that single back in the 3rd inning. Next pitch is swung through for strike 2, 0-2.
Yeah, Parks really starting to emphasize the fastball now as well on Strong. Quickly getting it to an 0-2 just like that, and I would be shocked if he didn't go back to it here to try to finish things off with Strong.
Parks ready for the 0-2 delivery. Outside, got him to swing through it, and Justin has really found his groove here in the 6th inning. Strikes out back-to-back hitters, including Strong, on 3 pitches. And like I said, just really hitting his groove here in the 5th.
Yeah, he certainly is. And that fastball and how dynamic it had been against Strong, I think forced him to chase in that situation. Not sure it would have been in the zone or not, but it worked perfectly into Parks' idea there because he wanted him to chase, and he got the chase that he wanted. So what a big out, too.
Now it's to face Ryan Dodson, who fouls one back and out of play. Dodson tripled back in the 2nd inning, struck out swinging in the 3rd, and Parks just trying to keep the momentum going. He struck out 2 in a row, why not 3, as he goes ahead 0-1. Dodson stands back into the right side, ready for the 0-1, low and outside for ball 1. Parks unable to find the zone, but he's been really, like I said it before a couple times, but he's in a groove. It's the only way I can think of to describe it here in the 5th inning.
Yeah, and as a southpaw against these righty batters, he already has a bit of an advantage built in, and he's used that to his advantage here as he forces another swing and a miss. Just really impressive what he's doing.
And aside from the foul balls, it seems like these swings and misses, they haven't even been close. The hitters are almost having to guess here against Justin Parks. The 1-2 delivery. Leg kick and just missed for ball 2. Very close.
Trying to target that inside part of the zone on Dotson there. Did a good job of holding back, but that was a pretty close take either way. We'll see if Parks can get him on the 2-2.
Parks steps on the mound, steps back, now delivers. High and away for ball 3, so Parks works his way to a full count. He's going to have to get back in the zone here. Doesn't really want to give the Pilots a chance to get anything here and allow a runner on base. He'd like to get the out right here while it's in front of him. Dodson trying to avoid that. He stands back into the right side. Parks steps back, the leg kick and the pitch. Swung through, strike 3. And Justin Parks strikes out the side. A terrific 5th inning to keep the game where it's at. Pilots lead 6-4. We'll come back for the 6th inning. The Oilers bringing up the top of the order. And Brooks, Austin Claver, Shane Cannon, and Nolan Graw trying to build on that momentum built up by Justin Parks when we come back on ESPN Radio.
Ready to spice up your day? Playa Azul Mexican Restaurant in Kenai is serving a bold, authentic Mexican food made with love and packed with flavor. New to town or just passing through, this is your must-stop spot for amazing variety, unbeatable prices, and all your favorites. Enjoy the free salsa bar and kick back with cold beer or a glass of wine. Located just past the last traffic light in Kenai, headed north. Playa Azul is where the fiesta never ends. Come hungry, leave happy. Playa Azul Mexican Restaurant.
It's Progress Days weekend in Saldana. This Saturday, the parade starts at 11 a.m. from Marydale to Binkley and ends on Redoubt. Then head on over to Parker Park for the free community barbecue beginning at noon. Outdoor games, food trucks, and more. While you're out, stop by Sweeney's Clothing for all your summertime essentials. From Carhartt workwear and rain gear for the whole family, it's one of the area's largest selections of Carhartt. Sweeney's Clothing in Saldana, your workwear and outerwear headquarters for the whole family.
Welcome back here on ESPN. Dylan Simmons, Tucker Blau joining you from Mulcahy Stadium in the crossroads of the world, Anchorage, Alaska. And through 5 innings on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard, it is a 6-4 Glacier Pilots lead over your Peninsula Oilers. But the Oilers trying to make the comeback, fighting for their top of the World Championship Series hopes. It's going to be Drew Perigo who takes the mound, taking over for Davis Weeks after he had a tremendous 5-inning performance for the most part in this contest, going well over 100 pitches here, Tucker.
Yeah, absolutely. And Weeks puts together 5 innings, allows 7 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Doesn't seem like the best outing, but I'm really impressed by the way he was able to recover from that first inning, allowing that 3-run home run off the bat of Nolan Graw, just 3 hitters into the affair, and then comes through with 3 straight scoreless innings, allows that 1 run back in the 5th, but the way he was able to recuperate from that first inning, very impressed with that, and hopefully the Oilers can just put some stuff off the bullpen and try to tie this game up at least and take the lead.
Brooks Hassenclaver, Shane Cannon, and Nolan Graw due up against Davis Weeks here. Top of the order brought to you by State Farm agent Christy Babcock. Start the next inning in your life with the top insurance team. Hassenclaver looking for what would be his second hit of the game. He's 1 for 2 with a walk so far. Got a single on the top of the 4th and watches a pitch from Perigo come in low for ball 1. 1 run scored by Hassenclaver as well on the Nolan Graw 3-run home run. Back in that top half of the first inning. 1-0 pitch. Perigo places it low and outside for ball 2.
And those are really close misses. Perigo not missing his spot by much, but excellent patience from Brooks Hassenclaver taking those balls and now works a favorable count.
Perigo with his 5th appearance on the season here. 14 earned runs given up with 6 strikeouts. 13.50 ERA. So he hasn't been the most efficient in these situations against the Oilers, and Peninsula could use that to their advantage to get the tying run they need, as that's ball 3.
Hassenclaver, the league leader in walks, as we've said many times, now very close to working a leadoff walk and getting that tying run to the plate in a crucial 6th inning.
3-0. And that one called for a late strike for Perigo, brings the count to 3-1, as it was just able to get in on the fastball.
Hassenclaver's already reached base twice here in the second game. He also reached base twice in the first game, so on the day winds up being 2 for 5 on the day with a couple of walks on top of that.
3-1 pitch from Perigo. Hassenclaver, that's called for a strike. Hassenclaver, I think he thought for sure that was going to be a walk. It already unbuckled his shin guard, but instead it moves the count to 3-2.
Yeah, Hassenclaver, like you said, already starting to unstrap his gear. Now has to get back into the hitting mindset and steps back in a full count. He can't just take this pitch now. He's got to protect the plate with 2 strikes.
Massive payoff pitch to start the top of the 6th coming up here from Perigo. 3-2 on the way to Hassenclaver. And that's low for ball 4. So a little bit delayed on the 41st walk of the season forced by Hassenclaver, but able to get over 2 first with a leadoff base on balls.
And Hassenclaver has demonstrated why he's the league leader in walks tonight. 3rd walk of the day in the Twin Bill in the 13th game, the 13th inning of this doubleheader. That brings Shane Cannon to the plate, who also walked back in the first inning. Other than that, 0 for 2, with reached on an error in the second, grounded out in the 4th.
Looking for his first hit of this game, did get a hit back in the first game against the Pilots today in the doubleheader. Perigo delivers a fastball and gets a nice strike right down the middle, bring the count to 0-1. Oilers down 6-4, trying to find their way back to at least a tie game here in Anchorage to try to split this doubleheader with the Glacier Pilots. Were upset in the first game after a shocking late rally by the Pilots in the bottom of the 6th. Now the Oilers want to pull the comeback of their own here in game number 2. Low pitch by Perigo brings the count to 1-1.
Oilers just trying to do whatever they can to scrape together a couple runs here. They just need 2 to tie the game, and I think that would shift the momentum enough in their favor to put them in a good spot to hopefully come back and win, but they need to get runs somehow.
1-1 on the way, and this is another low pitch from Perigo for ball 2. If Perigo's control issues continue, that could set the Oilers up well, and the Pilots will have to keep a close eye on him as well if that continues, because they may want to consider a pitching change somewhere down the line. But as of right now, remains on the mound trying to stay focused against Cannon. 2-1 on the way. Cannon with a high pop-up into shallow left center field. Kunis racing after it, wants it, and makes the catch for out number 1.
Yeah, towering pop-up to center field, and that just had way too much hang time. Somebody was bound to get underneath it, and in that case, it was Cooper Kunis. That was a mission to the moon.
Almost up in the clouds for Shane Cannon. And here comes Nolan Graw. Already he's been a game changer in this game. A 3-run home run in the top half of the first, his 3rd homer of the season. And he's got the home run king in the ABL over at first, Brooks Hossenclaver. A shot here would tie the game. But Graw, at this point, all he's looking for is a chance to at least send Hossenclaver home in whatever capacity he can. That pitch from Perigo low for ball 1.
Graw's already reached base twice. He's 1 for 2 with that 3-run home run, the biggest hit of the day for the Oilers. Also walked and scored in the 5th.
Here's the 1-0 on the way from Perigo. Graw hits a high fly ball deep to left field. Will it stay fair? It just misses the left field corner. Could have gotten down to possibly bring in Hossenclaver, but instead the count will be at 1-1.
And Graw's done that a couple times, just absolute shots down that left field line that just missed being extra base hits. And I mean, that's just a couple feet away. They say baseball is a game of inches, and there's evidence of that right there.
1-1 coming up for Graw here, and that was monstrously close to a game-changing swing. Hossenclaver remains at first for now. 1-1 to Graw. He pops this one back behind us in the press box and brings the count to 1-2. Again, got a decent handle on it, but could not send it in the forward motion. If you're watching on YouTube and you're listening in, or rather if you're listening or watching on YouTube or on the radio tonight and you're on the East Coast, it's past 2 a.m. where you're at. It's a late night, to say the least, but we hope you're enjoying it as much as we are. Oilers now with a 1-2 to Graw. And this is delivered low and in the turf for ball number 2. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Graw's been swinging a really good bat today. We've seen a few missed shots down that left field line, as we were just mentioning, but he already has a couple hits on the day, including that home run. He's reached base on walks. He just put a line drive that wound up being a double play. So it'd be really good to see him put one of those shots and find some outfield grass.
Graw standing in on the 2-2, and this pitch is well inside from Perigo for ball 3. And this long at-bat continues. Perigo trying to find a way to force Graw into swinging, but Nolan not taking the bait. So a big payoff pitch coming up, and Graw trying to make number 13 the Pilots' unlucky number once again here on this Thursday evening. Now a huge payoff pitch. Delivered, it's low, it's ball 4, and Graw makes his way over to first as the Oilers have forced 2 walks in the first 3 batters in this top of the 6th.
And that is the second time in 2 innings, actually, that Nolan Graw has worked a full count and then fouled a ball down the left field line, narrowly missed an extra base hit, and then ended up working a free pass out of it. So almost close to identical at-bats in back-to-back innings, the 5th and 6th. The Oilers now have runners on first and second, that tying run on base now in the 6th inning with only 1 out. Luke Lusky and Owen Musil both with big assignments coming right up.
Pilots will take a moment to have a meeting on the mound with Drew Perigo as they try to get him set up in the right way. Doesn't look like there's going to be a pitching change in this top of the 6th, so this is a let's get things under control moment. Obviously, Perigo's consistency at getting in the zone hasn't been there as much as the Pilots probably would like at this point. And with Luke Lusky coming to the plate and Owen Musil behind him, as well as Reed Oakley, you've got to make sure that you figure this out quickly if you're Perigo. And if you're the Oilers, the time to strike might just be now in this top of the 6th.
Absolutely. The Oilers have left too many men on base. They want to clean that up right here. The tying run on first base, you got to score that run here in the 6th, you would think. As with Lusky at the plate, a big power bat, and a chance to come through in a big way for the Oilers.
Lusky at the plate, trying to get his first hit of this contest. Reached on an E5 his last time up, as that's delivered low by Perigo for ball number 1. And the Pilots' bullpen not nearly as deep statistically as the Oilers, so the more pitches you can force if you're the Oilers, the better off you're going to be in this situation. Trying to really test this Anchorage team pitching-wise. Lusky fouls this one off towards the backstop, just caught it with the end of his bat, evening the count at 1-1.
And I like Lusky coming out aggressive here early in the count rather than waiting and allowing Perigo to get ahead, although waiting might be the ticket as well against Drew with the way he struggled with control just a little bit. It's a chess match between the pitcher and the hitter as always, and Lusky playing it well so far.
A 1-1 on the way here to Lusky, and this fastball by Perigo low, and Cortinas a little bit trouble keeping it in front of him. Able to do so, though, and the count's at 2-1.
This feels like such a pivotal moment in this game. Tying run on first base. The Oilers trail 6-4. The momentum has slightly shifted towards them with the 1 run back in the 5th, and then and Park striking out the side in the bottom of the 5th. Let's keep that going right here.
2-1 Lusky. Here's a line shot right past the glove of the shortstop Verhamy. Coming around is Hassenclaver. The throw to home plate will not make it in time. It's a 1-run game, and Luke Lusky breaks through with a big 1-out RBI single.
And while unintentional it was, Brooks Hassenclaver led off second base, and he stalled as it was coming up to the shortstop Verhamy, and actually got in his vision, allowed that ball to get up the middle and into the outfield. Comes through an RBI single. Now the tying run is only 90 feet away in Nolan Graw, and Owen Musil, certainly the guy, one of the guys you want at the plate when you need an RBI, and a big RBI it would be. The Oilers now just 1 run away from tying this ball game.
Musil to the plate with a couple of singles in this game in the 3rd and 5th innings. He's been on a tear as of late. Can he do it again here to give the Oilers a tie game? Swings and misses at this off-speed pitch from Perigo, and the count's at 0-1.
Owen Musil struggled at the plate in the first game. He went 0 for 3. I saw him in the cage in between games of this twin bill, and he's come through with a 2 for 3 night thus far. I like that trend, and I'm looking for a big hit from Owen Musil right here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Nolan Graw over at third, Lusky at first. Here's a fastball delivered just a little bit low, and it evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. And it feels as though we talked about that momentum. It started in the top of the 5th, and it's really continued since. Can the Oilers capitalize to finish the job in the top of the 6th inning and at least get this thing to a tie game? That's what Musil's trying to do. He's been clutch before. 1-1 pitch. Musil just fouls it off to bring the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Oilers now 90 feet away from tying this game. They trail 5-6. This has been the definition of a back-and-forth game, I guess. The Oilers jumped out 3-0. The Pilots scored 6 unanswered runs, and the Oilers now 90 feet away from answering those 6 runs, tying it back up themselves here in the 6th inning. Can Musil get the job done? All he needs is a deep fly ball.
1-2. Musil does deliver a fly ball, but it's fouled to the right side. Count will be at 1-2. Oilers trying to make up that loss in game number 1 of this doubleheader earlier today. Trying to set themselves up for a massive game tomorrow with Matsu. All of it, a lot of it at least, riding on this result here in game number 2 of this doubleheader. Musil with a 1-2, and this pitch well outside, and Cortinas had to work to keep it in front of him as to make sure that Graw didn't come in to tie this game up.
Yeah, like you said, the tying run, I've said it like 3 times. I feel almost like a broken record at this point, but the tying run is 90 feet away. That's a huge block from Cortinas. If that run scores, I don't think that's not how the Pilots want to tie this game up.
Certainly is that they want the Oilers to earn it. 2-2, outside by Perigo again for ball 3. And we're going to have another payoff pitch situation for Owen Musil here, who lives for these sort of situations. It was way back in game number 2 against the Pilots earlier this year that he delivered what was then a massive 3-run bases-clearing RBI double. Does he have another hit like that in him here to help the Oilers potentially get a win against the Pilots today? 3-2 on the way, and that's outside by Perigo for ball 4. The third walk from Perigo in this inning, and the Oilers have loaded the bases in the top of the 6th with Reed Oakley coming to the plate.
And that's a selfless take from Owen Musil. In that big spot, you want to be the guy, you want to be the hero, you want to drive those runs in, and he is patient enough to take that pitch outside, load the bases, put the Oilers in an even better position, and hand it off to his Kansas City Community College teammate Reed Oakley in a big spot with the bases juiced, and still just 1 out.
Cortinas having a quick conversation with Perigo on the mound, trying to make sure again that he's set up as well as he can be. But obviously the control that he would desire hasn't been there quite as much as he would like. And now the Oilers have the bases loaded with just 1 out. A sacrifice fly would tie this game, but not only do you have the tying run at third, you've got what would give the Oilers the lead over at second, represented by Luke Lusky. And it's Reed Oakley, who already has an RBI single and 2 total hits today at the plate. Lusky at second, Graw at third, Musil is at first. 1 out in the top of the 6th. Perigo deals, and this is delivered low for ball 1. And again, if he issues a walk here, that'll tie the game for the Oilers. So Perigo under, let's just say, immense pressure in this top of the 6th right now. Reed Oakley will be as patient as he needs to be, but he also wants to be the guy to help give the Oilers the lead if he can help it. 1-0 pitch. Perigo able to get a nice correction to even the count at 1-1.
Like you said, Reed Oakley also with a couple hits on the day. And the Oilers are thanking the Kansas City Community College for the players they sent up here tonight. Both Owen Musil and Reed Oakley combined 4 for 6 on the day with a walk, or on the game with a walk, and have been a huge force here in Game 2.
Perigo delivers the 1-1 and is low on that offering for ball 2. Perigo, I think, a little bit unsure about that call as it was close to the zone, kind of a bang-bang, but the home plate umpire ruled it as ball 2.
Oakley with a big take, now works himself into a favorable count. He can swing away if he gets a pitch to hit. With the bases loaded and 1 out, tying run at third and the go-ahead run at second.
2-1, Oakley, a high fly ball towards the gap in left center field. It will be caught by Haruki, but that'll bring in the tying run for the Oilers. Graw scores, and Reed Oakley gets his second RBI of the day on a sac fly. We are tied up in Anchorage at 6 runs apiece.
And the comeback is completed. The Oilers, after jumping out ahead 3 runs, fall behind 3 runs, now get those 3 runs. They tie it up at 6. Mission is not done. Carson McCormick in a big spot. The go-ahead run at second base, you can still bring him in with a shot in the gap. Can he do it right here, or will we look to the 7th inning?
McCormick is 0 for 3 in this game. Struck out swinging his last time up. Runners at first and second. Perigo able to deliver this one towards the inside part of the plate on a fastball for a strike. Count goes to 0-1.
Big credit to Nolan Graw in the game, scoring on that sac fly. He's now driven in 3 runs, and he's scored 3 runs over the course of this game. A huge game for the shortstop. I guess he's playing third base tonight.
He's done an exceptional job offensively in this game so far. McCormick trying to join him. That pitch gets behind Cortinas, and that'll move the runners up a base. 2 runners now in scoring position, and now McCormick facing an 0-2 count. They're going to say he did go around. So an 0-2 coming up, but Cortinas unable to handle that passed ball.
Yeah, and that's a big 90 feet because now all McCormick needs is a hit anywhere. If he can get on base with a ball in play, that's a run. And not just any run, that's a go-ahead run. And the Oilers would take the lead. So huge at-bat from Carson McCormick. Unfortunately, he's fallen behind 0-2. All he's looking to do is to put the ball in play and get on base.
0-2 with 2 outs on the way to McCormick. And low from Perigo here on a fastball for ball number 1. Good take by Carson. Again, Owen Musil is at second. Luke Lusky is at third.
Seems like we've seen McCormick in this spot at multiple occasions over the course of the year, and he usually manages to come through. Can he do it again in possibly the biggest moment of the season here at Mulcahy Stadium?
1-2, Perigo, called strike 3. Got him with the fastball. Second straight strikeout on McCormick, and that puts an end to the top half of the 6th inning. However, the Oilers have rallied back and tie the game at 6 runs apiece. Hang on to your seatbelts, folks. This one's far from over. We'll be back for the bottom half of the 6th inning and the Oilers back on defense with Justin Parks on the mound on ESPN in just one moment.
Hey grown-ups, did you know PCHS takes care of kids too? Whether we need a checkup, don't feel good, or just need help staying healthy. PCHS is here for kids and families. The doctor and care teams at PCHS help us do our best so we can keep growing, learning, being kids. Call 907-262-3119 to make an appointment today.
Peninsula Community Health Services. Healthcare for all.
Officers at Beeman's talking with Steve. Bikes, and more bikes you'll find in the bike loft. That's upstairs at Beeman's.
Matt, we are well stocked with bikes. We have e-bikes and regular bikes and adult trikes and kids trikes. We offer repair of all bikes, many accessories you can choose from as well. We have skateboards and longboards, softball and baseball mitts and bats, and an ever-increasing supplies of disc golf from MVP, Innova, and Discraft.
You'll find all upstairs at Beeman's, located on the Kenai Spur Highway in Soldana.
Back here at Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska, the crossroads of the world has bore witness to an incredible Game 2 of this twin bill between the Oilers and Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Through 5.5 innings, we're all knotted up at 6 runs apiece. The Oilers putting 2 runs on the scoreboard in the top half of the 6th inning, and doing so thanks to some clutch hitting by the likes of Reed Oakley as well as Owen Musil. And now the Oilers have a chance in the bottom half of the 6th inning to put themselves in position to take over in the top of the 7th. Justin Parks remaining on the mound for his 3rd inning of work. He'll face Karen, Martindale, and Verhamy.
And Justin Parks worked through that dominant 6th inning. He struck out the side, all swinging. Cortina, Strong, and Dodson, and it seemed like he just dominated those at-bats. They didn't really have a chance.
Jack Karen is 0 for 2 in this game so far, one of only 2 Pilots hitters who does not have a hit yet in game number 2, along with Nick Cortinas. Both times he grounded out to third base. Let's see what he can do against Parks here in this bottom half of the 6th inning. Oilers trying to keep this at a tie game and get a chance to take the lead in the top half of the 7th inning in this 7-inning game, as that's fouled off by Karen toward the left side of the ballpark and towards the Oilers dugout. The count will be at 0-1.
And if you're Parks here, you don't want to let the crucialness, that's not a word, but you see what I'm saying, of this situation get to him, and just throw strikes, trust his defense.
And he's able to deliver a nice breaking ball, just caught the edge of the zone, bringing the count to 0-2. Nicely done by Parks. And again, that confidence, which has been building throughout this game, likely continues to rise. Let's see if he can dial it up one more time. 0-2, just to the outside for ball 1. 17 combined hits between these two teams. 2 errors in this game, both on the Pilots. No errors yet for the Oilers. 1-2 coming up here for Jack Karen. Parks deals, fastballs, fouled off, and the count will remain at 1-2 strikes.
And Parks, just like I said, he's staying in the zone. 3 of 3 pitches so far, 4 strikes, or 3 of 4 anyway. And he's just doing a good job of really attacking Jack Karen. He's going to want to do that to work through a clean 7th.
1-2. This pitch is high and over the glove of the catcher, Reed Oakley. And the count evens at 2-2 strikes. Easy take for Karen. And now the 2-2 coming up for Parks. Will he try the breaking ball again? The fastball has usually been what he's done to finish these strikeouts. Goes for a fastball here, but it's low this time for ball 3. And Karen doing a good job of not chasing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great patient at bat from Karen after falling behind 1-2. And now he's going to have to Parks is going to have to find a way to get the strikeout, or at least weak contact.
Payoff pitch. There is weak contact over to second, picked up. Cannon throws to first off balance and got it there in time for a 4-3. Great work by Shane Cannon, the mark of a great second baseman. He's adapted well to that part of the infield and gets the out here.
Yeah, and that's just a great play by Cannon from the second base position, ranging in on a slow ground ball. He didn't have time to set his feet and make a throw to second base, so he has to throw across his body with all his momentum carrying him towards his own dugout on the third base side, and able to make a great throw, and Lusky makes it easy for Lusky.
Landon Martindale will come to the plate. He's already reached both times he's been up to the plate in this game on a double and a walk. 1 for 1 so far as that pitch from Parks is low and outside for ball 1. Glacier Pilots trying to sweep the doubleheader against the Oilers, but it's been easier said than done against Peninsula this season. They've at least taken one of their doubleheader games in each and every time they've been in one this year. 1-0 from Parks, swing and a miss from Martindale. Fanned at nothing but oxygen on that Parks fastball, and the count evens at 1-1.
Yeah, that's a big comeback pitch from Parks. He has retired every batter he's faced tonight. He's now retired 6 in a row. He's just been really dominant in relief and exactly what the Oilers needed at this point in the ballgame.
1-1 pitch from Parks, swing and a miss for Martindale. Again, Parks able to force Martindale to chase and bringing the count to 1-2.
Now just 1 strike away from moving this to 2 outs, which is absolutely crucial. We cannot allow the Pilots to get a run back here in the 6th inning.
1-2 pitch, Justin Parks delivers and just misses the outside corner. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good take by Martindale as he probably was tempted to chase right there, but decided to hold off. But it's hard to do that forever against Justin Parks.
Yeah, I think Reed Oakley behind the plate and myself might have thought that might have caught the edge of the zone, but umpire thought otherwise.
And a ground ball line toward the right side for a base hit. Landon Martindale will not give up his perfect day yet. Now 2 for 2 with a walk as he gets a single here in the bottom of the 6th into the 4-3 hole.
As you said, phenomenal day for Landon Martindale, who did not even play in the first game, now batting out of the 9 hole in the second, in game 2. I wasn't really expecting much out of him. He's now reached base 3 times in 3 at-bats, doubled, walked, and singled, scored both of the first 2 times he got on base, and Park's going to try to prevent that here in the 6th inning.
So now the Pilots have what would be the leading run aboard as we go back to the top of the order, and this is where the rubber meets the road as Henry Verhamy has been unbelievable so far. 3 hits in this game, and he's 1 home run short of a cycle. Justin Parks wants to make sure he's not the recipient of a shot like that here. 1-0 on the way. Verhamy lifts this one to the right side. It's going to land in foul ground. Will it be caught? It will not, as it's too far towards the right side, and the count evens at 1-1.
And I'm very curious to see if the Pilots will send Martindale and try to get him to steal second base. It's obviously a high-risk, high-reward situation because you get that go-ahead run in scoring position, but if Oakley's able to gun him down, then you have nobody on and 2 outs. I'm just curious to see how the Pilots will play that situation.
It's certainly a risk versus reward, and the Pilots have to gauge all possibilities at this point. 1-1 from Parks. Fastball is fouled back by Verhamy again, this time outside of the ballpark behind the press box, and the count will be at 1-2. Justin Parks trying to test Verhamy and do something that neither Cole Dixon or Kian Prendez was able to do, retire him in this game. 1-2 with 1 out. Parks deals. Verhamy swing and a miss, and the throw to first will get behind Luke Lusky, and staying at first base in a very odd situation is Martindale. It is a strikeout, and that'll be out number 2.
Yeah, that was a interesting play, to say the least. Reed Oakley fires down to first base trying to get Martindale, who led off first, thinking about taking second on the ball in the dirt. And unfortunately, Oakley's throw is in the dirt as well. Thankfully, Lusky able to get just enough glove on it to slow it down enough to keep Martindale at first base.
Parks will be credited with his 4th strikeout of the game as Zach Hefner comes to the plate. Lefty batter is the number 2 man in the order as this pitch is delivered toward the outside for ball 1. Hefner's been solid in his own right. A couple of RBIs, including an RBI single back in the bottom half of the 4th inning. 2 for 3, or I should say 1 for 3 in the game, with a strikeout in the bottom of the 3rd. 1-0 from Parks. Here's a chopper to the right side, picked up by Cannon. Throws to first for a 4-3 that ends the 6th inning. So 1 hit in the inning for the Pilots, but no runs scored, no errors, 1 man left on base. And the Oilers will have their shot in the top half of the 7th to take their first lead since way back in the 3rd inning against the Pilots and possibly claim victory here in Game 2 of the doubleheader. We'll be back in just a moment here on ESPN. Don't go anywhere.
Gentle Dental in Soldotna continues to invest in the latest dental technology. Their new 3D scanning system makes Invisalign treatment, root canals, extractions, and future dental implants more precise and predictable than ever before. They've also refreshed their office to create an even more comfortable experience for every patient.
What time's tomorrow's game?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
28834 to schedule an appointment.
Great news, Kenai. The Central Peninsula Kenai Health Center is expanding to better serve our community. We're proud to once again offer lab services, screening mammography, and bone density screenings all in one convenient location right here in Kenai. We're proud to bring these important services back to the Kenai community because everyone deserves access to quality health care close to home. Learn more at cpgh.org or call 907-714-4495. Central Peninsula Kenai Health Center, compassionate, personalized health care close to home.
Welcome back here on ESPN. Dylan Simmons and Tucker Blau joining you as we go to the top half of the 7th inning. It is 10:30 Alaska time here in Anchorage, but this game continues to roar on. The second part of our 2-game doubleheader today as Brady Brown, Kyler Hoover, and Brooks Hossenclaver, 8-9-1, are due up against Drew Perigo. Oilers trying to take their first lead of this back half of the game and maybe take game 2 of this doubleheader, all knotted up at 6 runs apiece right now on the Three Bears Alaska scoreboard.
Absolutely, and it is the bottom of the lineup in Brady Brown and Kyler Hoover, but I like what we're looking at here because you're going to want them to set the table for the top of the lineup, and Brady Brown's just been swinging a good bat all year, and I think Kyler Hoover's due. Brought up from down south just 2 games ago, and I think he's ready to get his first hit as an Oiler.
Certainly feels like he's on the verge of that. Brady Brown may have a hit here. Ground ball delivered to second, throw to first in time for a 4-3. Nicely done by Zach Hefner. Forces the ground out, and that's one quick out on the first pitch that Brown saw here in this top of the 7th.
Yeah, and I saw exactly what you saw off the bat. I thought I was going to get through that 4-3 hole, or at least give the second baseman Hefner too much trouble to make the out at first base, but able to play it well, got to it quicker than I thought, and record the first out of the inning.
Remember here, the Oilers need just 1 run to capture the lead against the Pilots as Hoover steps up to the plate, and that's delivered for a Perigo strike. And then they would need 3 outs in the bottom of the 7th to claim victory. If the game remains tied, then the Oilers cannot allow a run to the Pilots in the bottom half of the 7th inning if they want to force extra innings here tonight in this contest. Hoover watches this one be delivered low, and the count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike. Ideally, you'd like to have a runner on base for Hossenclaver with just 1 out in this top half of the 7th inning. And you can set up some of the best batters in the order if you're the Oilers, but again, that's an ideal world. We'll have to see if Hoover can make that a reality. As he fouls this one off to the right side, count goes to 1-2.
And the fact that Dave Dawson is allowing Hoover to bat here in such a pivotal moment shows the trust that he has in a youngster, even though he hasn't recorded a hit. And he's looking to give the kid a breakthrough moment right here in the second game of this doubleheader.
1-2 with 1 out. Perigo deals. That's well outside, and that's going to be a breaking ball that misses to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Easy take that time for Hoover, and he's going to be set up a little bit better here in the 1-out scenario. Hoover 0 for 3 in this game. Didn't have a hit in the first game of this doubleheader, but trying to turn that around here. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that's outside for ball 3. And perhaps Hoover at this point can consider getting on with a walk.
Yeah, and that would be absolutely huge because, like I said, these bottom 2 in the order, Brown and Hoover, their assignment was just to try and get on base and set the table for Hossenclaver and Cannon and Gra and all those guys who can really pound the ball. And so we'll see if that's exactly what Hoover's able to do.
Payoff pitch to Hoover. Here's a shot. That's going to be his first hit of the season. Got it into the 5-6 hole on a beautiful line hit to left field. Hoover is at first.
Kyler Hoover, exactly what I said he's due. He came up from the south just a few games ago. Took him a few games to get into the groove, and now he's in it. Lines it through the left side for his first base hit as an Oiler here in Alaska. Couldn't have come at much bigger of a spot. He's now aboard with 1 out and the top of the lineup. Brooks Hossenclaver stepping up to the plate, looking to drive a breakthrough hit. He's reached base 3 out of 4 times here tonight.
What could be the winning run for the Oilers is aboard. Hossenclaver to the plate. He does have a single in this game. He's 1 for 2 with 2 walks. And now Hassenclaver will look to work his magic one more time against the Glacier Pilots this season. Win or lose, it's the final time these two teams will meet here in 2026. And the Oilers trying to go out against the Pilots with a victory.
You'll typically see teams pitch around Hassenclaver in a moment like this, but I don't know how willing the Pilots are going to be to do that because they don't want to advance the go-ahead run into scoring position for free.
And that pitch is high for ball number 2. And Hoover, he's not been afraid about trying to steal base before, but I'm not sure at this juncture if you want to risk it if you're the Oilers. That's entirely up to what Dave Dawson is feeling, I'd say, in this moment. 2-0 on the way here to Hassenclaver. Already off to a good start in the count. And that's well inside for ball 3. Almost a hit by pitch. And now it's a really good start for Hassenclaver. He may be on the verge of forcing his 3rd walk of the game.
Absolutely, and that would be huge. And I think also that takes a stolen base from Hoover off the table because if you can get him to second for free on a walk, you'd certainly take that rather than risking a stolen base. We'll see if Hassenclaver is able to get on base here and put a runner in scoring position for Shane Cannon.
3-0, that's low, and it bounces off the plate. That will allow the runners to go to first and second for the Oilers on a walk for Hassenclaver, forcing his 3rd of the game and number 42 of the season.
And that's huge. Now that runner, Kyler Hoover, who reached on a single moments ago, he's now in scoring position. Of course, he represents the go-ahead run. You've got Shane Cannon at the plate, who's came into this doubleheader in a bit of a slump. He got a hit back in the first. He's got on base several times here in Game 2, and he's looking to continue that trend right here, load up the bases, or maybe even get a run ahead of Nolan Graw.
Looking for his first hit of Game 2. Got a hit in Game 1. Perigo, high pitch for ball 1, and Drew Perigo, as he winces back towards the plate, just having trouble finding the zone consistently right now. Much to the Oilers' benefit. Peninsula trying to capitalize on the struggles he's having right now. How aggressive will Cannon want to be in this situation? 1-0 pitch, and that's well high and well outside for ball 2.
Shane Cannon, if he can work a walk now, that would be absolutely tremendous to say the least. Imagine the bases loaded for none other than Nolan Graw stepping up to the plate in a very pivotal moment, to say the least, here in the top of the 7th inning.
There will be a meeting on the mound, but right now the bullpen looks to be pretty much inoperative for the Pilots, so I think they're trying to say this will be Perigo's game, at least for the short-term future, but they definitely want to talk to him and get him in the right headspace here with a massive 2-0 coming up to Cannon and just 1 out in this top of the 7th and a tie game at 6-6.
And we can't drill into you enough how huge this moment is for the Oilers. With their whole season on the line, essentially, they need a win tonight to preserve a chance at getting into the championship on top of the world. Of course, we've got a huge game coming up tomorrow as well. But this is huge with a runner in scoring position, that go-ahead run here in the top of the 7th. Of course, this is a doubleheader, so this is essentially the 9th inning. The Oilers really need to put a run across and then put it in the hands of Kevin O'Pannell to finish off the game in the bottom of the 7th.
So much on the line for the Oilers, as Tucker mentioned. Fighting perhaps for their season right here. And Peninsula trying to see if they can get that winning run to come to the plate. Cannon is at the plate as this pitch is delivered for ball number 3.
And that's a 3-0 count. He just walked Hassenclaver on 4 pitches moments ago. That's 7 consecutive balls now. And like I said before, if he allows Cannon to reach first on a walk, that will load the bases for Nolan Graw in a game where the Oilers need just 1 run to take the lead.
A massive 3-0 coming up. And that's in for a strike for Perigo to stop the bleeding for a moment. Count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike.
Perigo able to clip the zone at the top. It was very close to ball 4. He's going to have to get back in the zone here. I think if he gives Cannon a pitch to hit, though, Cannon won't be afraid to swing away. We'll see.
Hitters count for Shane Cannon. Still runners at first and second. Perigo delivers. Cannon swinging a miss, and the count runs full at 3-2.
Sure enough, he gets a pitch down the pipe, unfortunately just underneath it. Can't put the bat on it. It's now full count, and an absolutely tremendous payoff pitch coming right up.
Easy to say this, but it's going to be big for Shane Cannon and the Oilers right here. 3-2 with one out. On the way, Cannon fouls it off to the right side to keep the at-bat alive, and the count remains full.
And Cannon extends the suspense once more. And just a great at-bat. He's now worked full count, fouls one off, forcing Perigo to throw more pitches in a game where he's already somewhat fatigued out of the bullpen, unable to throw strikes. Cannon working a great at-bat.
Trying to work to the deepest depths that he's got. 3-2 on the way to Cannon again. Here's a high fly ball. It sends Kunis back to center, but he will camp underneath it and make the catch. Tagging from second here is Hoover, and he'll make it on to third with 2 outs. So what could be the winning run is now 90 feet away, but out number 2 here in the top of the 7th.
And that second out is crucial. But if you want somebody at the plate to deliver a huge single, all he needs is to get on base via a ball in play. If he can do that, that'll give the Oilers the lead with Hoover on third base. Graw looking for another big hit. They've already got so much out of him today.
Nolan Graw trying to reach base again. Here's a fly ball out to right center field. Kunis will camp underneath it to make the catch for out number 3. And Oilers had a chance there in the top of the 7th to maybe give themselves the lead, but unable to bring in any potential winning runs. So that brings us to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Justin Parks is going to head back out there for the Oilers, and Peninsula will try to force extra innings on an already prolonged night here in Anchorage. We'll be back for the bottom of the 7th in just a moment on ESPN Stretch Time here at Mulcahy.
I don't care who wins anymore. Just end the game.
Kenai Peninsula, at Ashman Krause Real Estate, we believe real estate should feel clear, calm, and personal from the very first conversation. Whether you're buying your first home, moving across town, or preparing to sell, we guide you through every step with local knowledge and genuine care.
Ashman Krause Real Estate at Jack White Real Estate,
guiding you home with care.
Yes, Steam on Wheels does install lift stations. Generally, a lift station is required with high groundwater or some type of elevational difference that's going to require a pressurized mound or bed. But they do provide an excellent sewer system when installed correctly. Conventional septics are the preferred way to go. But when you have high groundwater or an elevational difference where you've got to pump it up a hill to do it conventionally, a lift station may be the only way to go. Give us a call at Steam on Wheels, 907-262-3240.
Back here at Mulcahy Stadium, Dylan Simmons, Tucker Blau joining you for the bottom half of the 7th inning in what is scheduled to be a 7-inning doubleheader game 2 between the Oilers and Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Of course, Peninsula wants to go beyond the scheduled distance in this second game by getting 3 quick outs in the bottom half of the 7th inning. It'll be Cooper Kunis, Haruki, and Nick Cortinas coming to the plate here for the Glacier Pilots.
Yeah, and the Oilers just squeezing everything they can get out of Justin Parks. Now in his 3rd inning of work, something he is not used to, but he has been absolutely brilliant from the mound. Only allowed 1 base runner. He's recorded 8 outs now, and looking to continue that here in the 7th. Just push this game into extras, and hopefully the Oilers can get that run they need in the 8th.
Well, Justin has gone for long appearances before, multiple 4-inning games already on the season. That back towards the start of the year. Places this pitch to the outside on Kunis, and the count goes to 1-1. Of course, the Oilers trying to find their way to maybe a season-saving win here against the Glacier Pilots tonight, as this pitch is high for ball number 2. These two teams have absolutely fought with everything they've got here in the second half of the doubleheader, giving us a potential classic here late in July. 2-1 from Parks, fastball low for ball 3. And a 3-1 pitch coming up to Kunis, and he's got a chance to get on base for the 3rd time in this game.
Yeah, and Parks is so dominant when he's in the zone. If he can get back in the zone here, he has a really optimal chance of getting through the 7th inning. It's just a matter of getting that control back.
3-1 pitch, and that's inside. Kunis knew it immediately, and that's going to put a runner at first for the Glacier Pilots as Kunis reaches on a leadoff walk.
Yeah, that's not the start that Parks wanted, but if he can get a ground ball, he'll get the double play. Just looking for anything he can get here. It looks like Tharp might be thinking about making a mound visit, or he's at least making sure the bullpen's warming, looking at a possible replacement for Parks.
Well, you don't have a lot of leeway here in this bottom of the 7th with maybe your chances of the playoffs on the line, and it looks like Dave Dawson is going to make his way out of the dugout one more time to at least talk to Justin Parks. We'll see if he wants to make a pitching change here or if he elects to keep Justin out there, but this is, needless to say, a very crucial decision for the Oilers.
Absolutely, and it looks like they are going to take the ball away from Parks. An absolute a stud of an outing from Parks. Did exactly what the Oilers needed him to do out of the bullpen. And it looks like, is that O'Pannell? Looks like O'Pannell to me coming out.
Yeah, it looks like it will be Kevin O'Pannell from the looks of it who's going to make his way out of the bullpen. We'll clarify that for you in just a moment and be back here for the bottom half of the 7th. Oilers and Glacier Pilots going late into the evening in Anchorage on ESPN.
Ready to spice up your day? Playa Azul Mexican Restaurant in Kenai is serving a bold, authentic Mexican food made with love and packed with flavor. New to town or just passing through, this is your must-stop spot for amazing variety, unbeatable prices, and all your favorites. Enjoy the free salsa bar and kick back with cold beer or a glass of wine. Located just past the last traffic light in Kenai, headed north. Playa Azul is where the fiesta never ends. Come hungry, leave happy. Playa Azul Mexican Restaurant.
Hi, this is Justin Ruffridge. There's nothing like a small town. It's real community. And that's one of the reasons I'm raising my family here. It's also why I own and operate Soldotna Professional Pharmacy, because I believe a small town pharmacy is where people get the best care. Our customers aren't just customers, you're our friends and neighbors. Stop by at 299 North Binkley in Soldotna for hometown friendly service. I'm Justin Ruffridge, and I'm here to serve you.
Back here on ESPN, Dylan Simmons, Tucker Blau joining you from Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska. And we appreciate all of you tuning in on YouTube and on the radio tonight. Got people watching from all over the country, it sounds like. Got one viewer from Pennsylvania. We appreciate that. And we know it's pretty late where you're listening in from tonight, approaching 3 a.m. out there on the East Coast. That just shows the devotion of the Oilers fans in the chat and listening along on YouTube and on the radio tonight. We appreciate all of you. Kevin O'Pannell is on the mound for the Oilers here, taking over for Justin Parks, and O'Pannell will try to sit down any chance that the Pilots have of walking this game off here in the bottom of the 7th, Tucker.
And Dylan, we talked about earlier how there's not really any night games here in the ABL, but this is pretty much the closest you can get. I think the fielders and the hitter, the umpires, everybody on the field, largely depending on the artificial light here to see the ball.
Yeah, it's gotten rather twilight, I would say, here in Anchorage, as that's a fastball for a strike. Sun is not officially set, by the way. It sets at 11 p.m. here in Anchorage at this time of the year. So we haven't reached sunset yet, but we are closing in. And if this game goes to extras, we almost certainly will hit it. It is Jake Haruki at the plate, and he's going to line one down into left field for a base hit. This could be trouble. It rolls all the way to the left field corner. Coming around is Kunis to third. He's headed for home. The throw is not going to make it in time, and the Glacier Pilots are going to walk off the Oilers here at Mulcahy in a wild 7-inning contest.
Yeah, that was just unfortunate. A beautiful hit for Jake Haruki down into that left field corner. Not much anybody could do about that. McCormick and Hoover, the relay to Oakley, they did all they could, and the Pilots just come through when it matters most. A great game played by both sides. The Oilers jump ahead early, fall behind, and they don't stay behind. They manage to crawl back in, tie the game up late, and unfortunately just come up short here at the end.
A tough loss for the Oilers against the Glacier Pilots here, and give credit to Anchorage. They fought with gusto and moxie all throughout this entire doubleheader and showed a lot of heart today. And for a team that has basically had their season ended early, not going to be playing for the playoffs, obviously, but they're still showing a lot of heart and determination late in this season. And for the Oilers, this is no doubt a tough loss for their hopes of making the top of the World Championship Series. And it's unsure what the future holds after this game and after tomorrow's game, but it is going to be an uphill battle for the Oilers to make that championship series. They're going to try one more time against Matsu tomorrow to increase their record and make their case, but obviously not going to be an easy battle. But still, what hurt the Oilers showed in this contest, overcoming that 3-run deficit and forcing this to be very close and very near at the end. Unfortunately, Pilots get it done in this one, Tucker. Final thoughts here on this Thursday evening.
Yeah, like I said before, unfortunately the Oilers fall up short. They end up losing by a score of 6-7. But the Pilots, I mean, they put all the pressure on the Oilers. Once they jump out to that 6-3 lead after the Oilers jump ahead, it's too easy to just fall apart and give up on the game. The Oilers did not show that. They showed their grit. They came back, tied the game late at 6. Unfortunately, they were 90 feet away from getting that go-ahead run in this. I guess it wasn't the 9th inning; it was the 7th inning. The Oilers gave it all they got. Nothing to hang your head about. It was a great game played by both sides. I love the fact it was excellent baseball. Oilers no errors in either game. A huge bounce back from Sunday's game, which was their last game. It was just great baseball played today. It's just unfortunately the Pilots, somewhat uncharacteristically, played better.
Yeah, no matter which side you're rooted for tonight, a classic here in the second game of this doubleheader. 2 tightly contested games. Pilots were just a little bit better this evening, and they'll get the 2 wins in this doubleheader. And although the future may be uncertain for the Oilers here in 2026 as far as the championship series is concerned, the regular season is not over. They'll have one more game tomorrow against the Matsu Miners at Herman Brothers Field to make one last case for a chance to make that championship series. We'll see if they can get it done against Matsu and end off the regular season on a high note. And we'll have the broadcast coming your way starting at 5:45 tomorrow night with the Sweeney's Clothing pregame show. Make sure you tune in. Myself and Tucker will be there for the 9-inning contest. As for tonight, that's all we've got from Mulcahy Stadium. Your final score for game number 2, the Glacier Pilots pick up the 7-6 win over the Oilers in this 7-inning game 2 of the doubleheader. For our producer Kayla back at the station and for Tucker Blau, I'm Dylan Simmons saying so long from Mulcahy. We will see you tomorrow and have an electric night. All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Enjoy your evening. Yep, later.
You too.
Oilers baseball.